because today's Drive Time show is coming live from here, the home of darts, Ali Pali, where at the moment it's empty. But over the next 3 hours, we are building up to both semi-finals live on the talkSPORT network. So make sure you join me, Andy Goldstein, and Darren Bent for 3 hours of darting heaven. Oh, that was close. Live from Ali Pali, head of the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals. Of course, you can hear both of them live on talkSPORT tonight. Reigning champion Luke Littler, he's going to face Ryan Searle, whilst Gian Van Veen is up against Gary Anderson. Gian Van Veen, he thumped former world champion, your boy Luke Humphries, 5-1 last night, whilst Luke Littler whitewashed his opponent. Meanwhile, Ryan Searle made it past Johnny Clayton, and Gary Anderson, beat Justin Hood. So we can look ahead to all the darts now with our friends at Village Hotels.
Drive, live from Ali Pali for the PDC World Darts Championship semi-final on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Get rooms from as little as £55 in the Big Village sale. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Yes, good afternoon to all of you. Thanks so much for joining us ahead of what should be a fascinating night, of darts, all on the talkSPORT network. Well, talkSPORT, actually, both semi-finals here on talkSPORT. Darren Bent alongside me in a very cold Ali Pali. How you feeling? You all right?
Freezing.
It's cold, right?
Yeah.
Have you not learned, because last year it was cold, the year before it was cold, so I've gone body warmer and big coat. You've just gone...
No, I've got a hoodie on, jacket, I've got gloves in my bag, but no, I'm not that bad. Not that bad. It's like New York, where you had me walking around New York for 3 days trying to find a jacket that you never bought.
Well, I've got one now. Better late than never. I should point out, though, if you've been to Ali Pali for the darts before, this is the room. You can't really see it, but the other side of the cameras, or if you're listening, the room in front of us is where all the food and drink is.
Yep.
This hall is absolutely massive. Back in the day, they used to have the News of the World Darts Championships here, and from next year, the World Darts Championship will be in this room. So capacity at the moment is just over 2,000, where it currently is. When it comes to it, it's going to be just over 5,000. I mean, it's more than double. It's going to be absolutely massive.
I'm going to get a bit of heat in there, though, right?
I don't know if anyone knows where the central heating is in this room.
Turn on.
Just flick it on.
Just flick it on.
That's all you got. If you got Nest, just use the app to flick it on. That's all you got to do.
But I'm glad to be. It's one of my favourite days in the calendar when we come and do shows from Ali Pali. I mean, it's great, especially after about 6 o'clock when all the fans come in as well and people start hurling abuse at you.
Love that.
I love that.
Well, it's not abuse. It's just Goldstein, you're the best. That's their opinion. Yeah. Let them have their opinion, all right? But it is. It's going to hot up to what should be a great night of darts. We need to talk. We'll talk about the football bit later on. What was it? How many? 4 draws.
Jeez.
One of them was 1-1. 3 0-0s. Lots to talk about. We need to talk about performance last night.
Oh, Ipswich. They won it. If you want to talk about Ipswich.
No.
They beat Oxford at home.
No.
You want to talk, okay.
Oh, up to second, and then in Championship. The producer Joe's very excited about that. Now we are hoping to have Gian Van Veen alongside us in the next 5 or 10 minutes. We need to talk about his performance last night, because he absolutely hammered your boy, Luke Humphries, 5-1. No one saw, not necessarily that result coming, but the scoreline as well. That surprised everyone, didn't it?
Do you know what it did? But, you know, Gian Van Veen had come in, beaten Humphries the last 4 times, as now 5 times in a row, but it looked like he believed, he was confident. I mean, Humphries towards the end, I mean, he just couldn't hit anything. Every time he got down to the 25, it caused him a real issue. And I think there was an 85 there, and he didn't take that out. And I think sometimes, like, there's been games that I've played in, and I'm not trying to compare myself to these guys, but in terms of sportsmen, where you've walked onto the pitch, you've hit the first one, keeper safety, you've hit the post, and you're just like, you know what, it's one of them days where it doesn't matter what I do, I'm not going to score. And it looked like for Humphries last night, everything he tried, it just didn't come off for him. And then Van Veen, fair play to him, he was ruthless.
Yeah, he's got Gary Anderson later on tonight, who came through quite convincing actually against Justin Hood. I mean, Gary Anderson knows what it's like to win this championship. He's done it a couple of times before. Do you think both players in that semi-final will feel as though neither are the favourite, neither are the underdog? They both got every chance to get there.
Potentially, but I mean, Gary Anderson's playing really well at the minute. Because he's got the 2 world titles behind him, you never know for Van Veen. He might get a little bit nervous in there. He hasn't looked like he's getting nervous, but you know, as you get closer to that end goal, and Gary Anderson's been there, as you said, they're 2-time world champion. That nerves are a funny thing, because last night, you can't tell me that Luke Humphries weren't a little bit nervous, because he threw like he was nervous, and it can get you. I think it can get you, but that's going to be a fascinating semi-final. It really is. But I do think, again, when you look at the other semi-final, I think everyone's looking at Littler, because he has looked indestructible.
Yeah, he really does, doesn't he? He looks a cut above the rest.
Yeah.
He's dropped, 2 sets, all the way to get to the last 4. That was in his round 4 match against Rob Cross. His opponent, by the way, has also dropped just the 2 sets as well. In comparison, Gary Anderson's dropped 9.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? That he's had to fight?
Sometimes in some of the games he's had to play, he's had to fight tooth and nail. But you know what it is? When you watch Littler throw, right, you know if he's trying to hit tops and he misses tops and goes 10, you just know where he's checking it out. There's very few darts players I watch that every single time they get to a finish, I'm like, he ain't missing this. And Littler's one of those, but it's just the scoring power when he needs to pull out a 180, and it's just different combinations to finish. That's where I'm like, whoa. In terms of darts, he has to be the favourite by some distance.
Oh my goodness, without a shadow of a doubt. There was that moment, of course, during the week where he turned to the crowd and he gave it, thanks for buying your tickets, you're paying for my prize money, effectively.
Yeah,
then his mum came out and she had her 2 penneth worth as well. Yeah. I thought that was going to come back to bite him on the backside and he might feel a bit of the pressure, but so far, just nothing.
Because he's been world champion already, he's only 18. There's that young energy where...
That's so ridiculous when you say that.
Do you know what I mean? It's that young energy where he got to one final, got beat by Humphries, got to another one, it convincingly.
Yeah.
That you don't really feel that pressure yet, because you're like, I'm only 18, get on with it. He still goes home, plays PlayStation, whatever he does, live the way he lives. So he hasn't really got to that point. And again, I can remember being a young kid, getting into Ipswich Town's first team. There's a little bit of nerves there, but because you're playing with this freedom and energy, you're like, well, I've got a long way to go to get to that point where these guys are seasoned vets. And for Luke Littler, when he's throwing, I just think there's no fear there. He knows how good he is, and I think everyone else knows how good he is, which puts the pressure on them.
We'll talk to all 4 semi-finalists throughout today's show, but I'll ask you this question before any of them tip up. Can you only see one winner out of the 4?
Yes, but I would like to see Gary Anderson throw. I was watching a darts programme the other day and watching him when he did win his 2 world titles. And I mean, he's got scoring power as well. And I think to beat Littler or Gary Anderson, you're going to have to hit high scores, man. You have to get down to a finish as quick as, but I know that's the game. But these guys, 180s, big 140s all the time. But I mean, sitting here today and I'm looking at the way Littler played, 35 minutes to demolish someone in the quarterfinals.
He's insane.
I don't know how you beat that.
And you got £1 million if you win it this year. Do they think about that? They must do, right? It must be in the back of their mind.
Again, he's 18 years old. He's probably thinking, I mean, he's probably got, don't get me wrong, a lot of money anyway with his endorsements and what he's brought to the sport of darts.
Yeah.
But, of course, £1 million is life-changing for some of these guys. But I think maybe the others, maybe not Van Veen, because he's quite young, 23.
Yeah.
Right, so maybe not
23,
maybe not him as well. But for Gary Anderson, who's obviously an older statesman, he's probably thinking about it a lot more, because he's been unbelievable, but his shelf life is coming towards the end. I'm not saying he's going to stop anytime soon, but Littler's 18. Realistically, if he wanted to, he's not on 30 years, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If he wants to.
It would surprise me.
Do you know what I mean?
We'll talk more about the darts over the next 3 hours, but for the time being, that was all thanks to our friends at Village Hotels.
Drive, live from Ali Pali for the PDC World Darts Championship semi-final on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Get rooms from as little as £55 in the Big Village sale. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
This afternoon we're sort of going to mix a bit of darts and, of course, with a bit of football from last night. If you missed it, there were 4 matches. Every single one of them was a ball draw. The only one that had goals in it was Palace against Fulham. That was 1-1. The other 3 were 0-0. Good result, of course, for Arsenal, with City drawing away at Sunderland. I always thought that was going to be a tough game for Man City, but I expected them to score and I expect them to win as well.
They had chances. They had more than enough chances, but Sunderland, first half, pressed like crazy, got after them, had a couple of opportunities themselves as well. But it's a tough place to go. I remember when Arsenal drew up there 2-2, the narrative was, see, Arsenal starting to bottle it already.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right?
I think I started that narrative.
Yeah, people going, Arsenal bottling already, go Sunderland, can't win. And if they're going to win the title, these are the games you've got to win. Sunderland, so far this season, unbeaten at home. Man City tip up there, and yes, they had chances, don't win the game. It's a tough place to go, but, I mean, it was actually a really eventful 0-0. I mean, so I don't know about the others.
Was it eventful?
Yeah, it was.
Did it have events in it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some good games in there, but, I mean, Kearney 1-1 Palace for them. His goal was beautiful.
Yeah.
Tom Kearney's lovely goal.
Yeah.
Mateta finally getting a goal again. But, I mean, 3 0-0s. I mean, honestly.
It's good the darts was on.
What an advert, boy. Best league in the world, that. 3 0-0. Do you know what I mean?
But Liverpool, they'll feel as though they drop points, right? 0-0 at home to Leeds.
Again, Liverpool, they would have looked at that. But Leeds are in a good run of form, by the way. Good run of form. Calvert-Lewin nearly got another one, but ruled out. But yeah, again, for Liverpool, they would have looked at that result and gone, we'll win this. And unfortunately, it didn't go with their way. But again, it's definitely right now the two consistent teams are City and Arsenal. It's just simple as that. They're the two. Villa are there. But consistency, I think, is Villa and Arsenal.
We're going to have a quick break. When we come back, we'll be speaking to one of our semi-finalists. Gian Van Veen will be joining myself and Darren Bent live from Ali Pali. Do not go away because he'll be joining us right after this. Welcome back. You listen to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, alongside the superstar that is Darren Bent. We're live from Ali Pali ahead of the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals. Both of those matches, by the way, live on talkSPORT tonight. Build-up begins straight after us from 7 o'clock. Just quickly, Brennan Johnson is set to be included in Crystal Palace's squad to face Newcastle on Sunday after signing for a club record fee of £35 million from Spurs. And Chelsea's Raheem Sterling has rejected a loan move to West Ham. More football a bit later on, but as you would imagine, we are darts heavy because, a reminder, both semi-finals, the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals, will be live on talkSPORT tonight. First up, Luke Littler takes on Ryan Searle before Gary Anderson takes on Gian Van Veen. And I'm delighted to say we're here at Ali Pali and we're joined alongside Gian now. Gian, hello, good to see you. How are you? You all right? You well?
Good to see you too. Yeah, I'm very well.
Thanks so much for joining us ahead of what is, I'm guessing, the biggest night of your life so far.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think my biggest night so far has been yesterday. But yeah, tonight is a new game, and then it's going to be the biggest one of my career so far.
Just tell us a bit. We'll talk about last night's unbelievable victory for you, but just tell us a bit about what your day has been like today. Did you sleep well? What time did you get up? What you've been doing today?
I slept really well, to be honest. Yesterday was very, very tired after that game and all the media stuff, so I went straight to bed. Slept well. This morning I woke up about 8:30. Just went out for breakfast, went out for lunch, and a little bit of, not dinner because it wasn't at 2 o'clock, but I had some food and then just got back here. You know, it's been a busy day media-wise, and I got a lot of media requests after my win yesterday. A lot of messages from all the people as well. But, you know, I didn't respond to them all because tonight is another game. My focus was on that, so here we are.
I know you've beaten Luke 4 times. I think that was 5 times in a row. But the way you destroyed him last night, did you even surprise yourself, or did you know that that was possible?
I knew it was possible, but of course to do it here on the World Championship stage, my biggest match of my career so far in the quarterfinals, I knew it was possible, but I wasn't expecting it because we all know what Luke Humphries is capable of. But yeah, as soon as I got 3-1, 4-1 ahead, I knew what it was like to beat him on TV. So yeah, that gave me so much confidence yesterday.
When you arrived at Ali Pali for the start of the World Championships, you were ranked 10 in the world. That win last night takes you up to number 3. You're still relatively young. You're 23 years old. I say relatively. You mentioned Luke Littler there, who's not even in his 20s. Do you feel young or old in darts at the moment when someone like Luke comes along?
I feel young, especially if you take Luke out of consideration. I'm very young, but you know, it's difficult to compare myself to Luke Littler in any sort, but especially age-wise. You know, I feel really young, especially for this age, this sport where you can. You know, you saw it with Paul Lim. He was 71 years old when he still won a game here on stage. So I can be on this stage for maybe the next 40, 45 years if I want to. But, you know, I feel still really young in this sport.
Do you have a strategy going into a game? That game against Luke Humphries, we should talk about that, former champion of the world. You, of course, going into it with the underdog. Do you have a strategy when you're playing him? Or it's such a football cliche, it might be a sporting cliche. Do you take one leg, one set at a time?
A bit of both, but especially a strategy, especially against Luke Humphries, because, as I said, we all know what he's capable of. But I know if you put him under pressure from the start, then you have a chance to beat him. If you let him run away with it 1-2, 3-0 down in sets, you're not going to catch him because he's too good for that. So that was my strategy yesterday. Just try to punish him from the start, and then you saw, especially in the game yesterday, you saw him a bit head shaking, you saw his head dropping, and I saw that as well, and that gave me even more confidence of getting it over the line. But you know, it's a long format, so I just took it set by set. But yeah, that was the main strategy for yesterday.
I've always wondered that as well, because you just touched on it there. When you're playing against someone who is as good as Luke Humphries is, former world champion, or it's fair for anyone for that matter,
yeah,
and you can see they're thrown and it's not quite going their way, can you physically see them up on the stage start to shrink a little bit?
You can't see their facial expressions, but you can see their body language. You know, I see when he's walking onto the board, I can see he's disappointed with a visit, when his head is dropping, or just taking an extra 2 seconds in front of the board. So you notice that. But that's something I'm guilty of as well, doing that a little bit, but it's something you shouldn't do, because your opponent knows it. Like, for example, yesterday, if I felt nervous, my nerves would be immediately gone, because I saw his head dropping. I was like, okay, he doesn't feel too great.
Yeah.
So that gave me confidence of getting it over the line. So yeah, that's what happened yesterday.
When you saw the draw before a game was played, I imagine you would have pictured yourself getting to the last four, and you would have probably imagined you being up on stage tonight against Michael van Gerwen. And is that fair?
I wasn't expecting myself to get to the last four, because Luke Humphries would be awaiting in the quarterfinal probably. So that was the goal before this tournament: get to the quarterfinal, and then we'll take it game by game from there.
Well, you're not playing Van Gerwen, because of course your opponent Gary Anderson beat him 2 rounds ago. Is that good or bad? Would you have liked to have met him on the stage?
Of course, you know, especially being Dutchman, it's always nice to play Michael here at Ali Pali. But for me, it doesn't matter who's in front of me. If it's Gary Anderson or Michael van Gerwen, I know I have to play well to even get a chance against them, because they're all great players. And growing up, Gary Anderson was my idol, so it's also a dream coming true playing against him here on this stage.
Will that give you a bit of extra motivation then? Because I think it was Luke Littler was talking about Raymond van Barneveld. That was his hero. So that was playing against Gary Anderson, wanting to beat him. Will that give you that little bit more, the extra 0.5% that you're going to need?
Maybe. To be honest, I don't think so, because it's the World Semi-Final. You don't need extra motivation to play well on that stage. But of course, being here for the first time to play against one of my idol growing up, it's extra special, and maybe it gives me the extra % that you're going to need.
The money involved in darts now is absolutely bonkers, right? If you win tomorrow night, where are we? Friday, Saturday night. Yeah. If you're last man standing, not only do you get the wonderful Sid Waddell Trophy, you get £1 million. You're guaranteed 200,000 tonight, and if you get to the final, you get another 200,000. So you're effectively tonight playing for £200,000. Is that the biggest money match of your life?
Yeah, 100%. Yesterday was the biggest money match for 100,000. Wow. So, but it's not something you're thinking about on that stage.
Little bit?
No. when that final dart, yeah, maybe now. But you know, once you're on that stage, the winner, the sportsman in me says you just want to beat your opponent and get through to the next round. And then, of course, the money that comes involved afterwards is very nice, but it's not something I'm thinking about now.
How much did the crowd play a factor?
Not so much, to be honest, because there's how many people are in there? Well,
I think it's about 2,500, and when it comes in next year, it's going to be over 5,500.
Yeah, so it's very loud in there. It's a pretty small venue compared to the others we play in, so it's very, very loud. But it's a constant noise, which is good. You know, I haven't noticed any booing or whistling so far. So as long as that doesn't happen, then the crowd is fantastic.
Yeah.
You've dropped 5 sets on your way to the last 4.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think one in each game.
Yeah. Are these things you think of at all? If you have, because your opponent has dropped 9, Gary Anderson has dropped 9 to get this far. Does that matter when you pick up your darts and take to the stage?
Yes and no. I think because it gave me confidence that I've won my games quite comfortably. But also, you know, he's had fantastic games, and even when it's a close game, he knows he can close it out. I haven't any very close game. Of course, yesterday was close in legs, but you know, 5-1 in sets is not very close. So maybe if it gets close tonight, he's got the experience here on this stage to win that kind of game. But you know, tonight is a very different night compared to all the other games I've played here. So I don't think it matters too much.
What makes Gary so great? I mean, you're going to play with him. He said he was your idol. I mean, is it his scoring power? Is it his finishing, his combinations? What is it about him that made you obviously be your hero?
Scoring power. You know, when I grew up back in 2011, 2012, that's when I started watching darts, and I saw Gary Anderson winning the Premier League, getting to the World Championship final, and he made it look so easy. You know, when his first dart was in, you almost guarantee a 180. And so yeah, that's what made me fall in love with this sport, and I love watching him play. Still do. I'm going to watch up from very close tonight, so that's very nice, but bonus. But yeah, it's fantastic.
How much of an advantage do you think he has, knowing exactly what it's like to be last man standing and world champion? He's won it twice before.
I think that's a very big advantage, of course, but maybe not for tonight, but for tomorrow. But tonight, yeah, of course, he knows what it's like to get to a World Championship final. So that can be an advantage. But, you know, yesterday, 24 hours ago, I didn't know what it was like to get to a semi-final. I think I've handled that quite well.
Yeah.
So I don't see any reason to panic for tonight.
Are you superstitious?
A little bit.
What do you do?
I'm not too bad, but you know, especially on the game day, I like to go like quite not at the same time, but like a couple of hours before for lunch and stuff like that. That's quite a strict routine for myself. But once I get here, I'm not really superstitious.
I'm always surprised when dart players they have a good match or a win, they take the lights off and throw them out. I mean, I'd be keeping it if they've got me that far. I'm keeping them. You do that? Are you one of the?
Sometimes, no, I don't keep them. You know, if I don't throw them out, I'll probably give them away somewhere to a kid I see somewhere who wants them. Because you know, after one match the flight are probably damaged, so next game I'm always going to take new setup, new flights, new shafts, because you know, even if it's a 0.01% that flight is damaged and can cost you a double, then I'll rather take my chance for a new
Maybe
set.
that's where I'm going wrong. I've had the same flights for a couple of years now. Maybe I should get rid. That's probably the reason.
Nah, your problem is you're picking up the darts. Just leave it.
maybe I should keep the mic.
Yeah.
The flight's down. Listen, Jan, thank you so much for coming on.
problem.
We wish you. We'll
Thank
say
you
it to
very
all
much.
four. We have no favourites in this.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. What are you doing now? Where are you off to? What are you going to do? Bit of practice? How long will you practice for?
About 3.5 hours. So I'm going to go to the practice room now and prepare for the game tonight.
That's a long time, right? Some dart players are like 20 minutes.
Not some. Only Luke Littler probably. He doesn't practice too much, but he's a. You know, I like to practice for a couple of hours just to get the arm flowing, to feel really comfortable on the board, and then I'll be ready.
Okay. Well, listen, let's have a round of applause for Gian Van Veen. Thank you so much for coming. Good luck as well. We will see you on the stage a bit later on. That game is going to be live on talkSPORT. You're second up, is that right?
Yep,
Luke Littler's first up.
Yep.
Okay. We'll let you go. People are waiting for you. I know you're a very important man. Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
We'll see you on stage in a bit. That match, of course, second against Gary Anderson. Luke Littler will be first up against Ryan Searle, and hopefully we'll have the other three players left. He seems to come and have a chat with. He seems very confident, doesn't he?
Yeah,
very confident young man.
I mean, listen, you beat Humphries 5-1. You have to. 5 times out of 5 you've beaten him. You have to be confident. I mean, you asked him a question. It was a good question, I thought, about... Obviously, Gary Anderson's already been there and done that. But in my head, I thought, well, he beat a former champion last night. So that might give him that extra edge tonight to beat Gary Anderson. So, but yeah, I mean, what a guy. He seems like a down-to-earth fella.
Yeah. 23 as well. Getting younger and younger.
What did you do at 23?
What was I doing at 23?
I know you had a job. Bloody...
I can't remember. I was probably cleaning toilets or something. And look at me now. It's as cold as an outside toilet where we are. Right, time for a bit of no Googling. More superstars will be joining me and Bentley in just a moment. After 3 0-0 draws in the Premier League last night, we want to know which team has been involved in the most goalless draws in Premier League history. I'll give you a clue, they're still in the Premier League. All of that and more, and the other 3, fingers crossed, semi-finalists will be joining me and Bentley live on Drive on talkSPORT. Coming up after this, stay where you are.
Don't you know that you make me love you, baby?
Welcome back to Drive Time. We're live from Ali Pali, ahead of the 2 semi-finals in this year's World Darts Championship. Both of those games, by the way, coming up live on talkSPORT. Build-up begins when we come off air at 7 o'clock. We'll talk to 2 superstars connected to it in just a moment. But first, the answer to the no Googling. The question was, after 3 0-0 draws in the Premier League yesterday, we want to know which team has been involved in the most goalless draws in Premier League history. If you said Everton, well, I'll point to you. Well done. 360 draws.
Yeah, I would have said that.
Stick the yawn in there. Right, a reminder, still to come, we'll be joined by tonight's semi-finalists, but now the big guest. They continue. We're delighted to be joined by 2 darting legends. Master of Ceremonies, my old mate John McDonald is here, alongside legendary ref George Noble. George and John, good to see you both.
Thank you. Good to see you too. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to both
Happy
of
New
you.
Year.
It must be, I'll start with you, George, it must be quite an emotional, not night, because I know you're not working tonight, but next few days for both of you. Right? This is the last time you'll both be doing what you do.
I guess so. Well, I'm not really an emotional person. After 31 years, I think it's about time to hang the microphone up. I'm not. I don't say. I don't think I'll get emotional, but who knows? We'll see tomorrow evening.
Why? It's an obvious question. I'll let Darren ask John the question, but I'll ask you, George. Why have you decided to call it a day?
Well, I'm not getting any younger. 31 years doing it, I think it's probably long enough. But I've actually got some other business interests outside of what I do now, which is taking up a lot of my time, and I've missed like 17 out of 22 birthdays of my daughter, being away on the road working on the darts. So I'm able to sort of mix the other business interests with family time. So not all 3. It's not possible to do all 3 in the long run now. So one of them had to give, and I think, you know, the professional refereeing have been great. I've seen every continent, near enough every country, enjoyed my time, but now it's time to sort of take it easy.
How about you, John, then?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, I think. You know, I'm not getting any younger for sure. And I've missed so much of my own children growing up, let alone my grandchildren. Yeah. And I had what really spurred me on is I had a call. I've got a young grandson at the Chelsea Foundation, and his dad was at the Fulham Academy. You know, we're mad football people, and he said to me, "I'm playing at Southampton tomorrow, Grandad. Can you come and watch?" And I was like, "No, I can't, mate. You know, I'm up in Leicester." And he said to me, "It's all right because my other granddad can take me." And I was like, I felt a bit left out again, you know. And I thought, you know, how many times you do this in your life where you feel so left out? And I thought, you know what, I've had a good run. It's time for someone else to enjoy it, and maybe I can go off and enjoy them 8 beautiful grandchildren, my lovely wife. You know, that's what I'll do, and can't wait.
Are you both completely leaving? Because we spoke to Russ Bray, came on our show a couple of weeks ago, and even though he retired, he's still sort of...
Russ is busier now than he's ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, Russ will go to the opening of an envelope. I mean, he just loves it,
He's
Russ.
still involved in darts, right?
He is.
Are you two done now?
No, I'll still be involved in darts, but just not at the PDC. So I'm behind a thing that a Pluto on some Pluto, a big stream channel with a Motor Super Series, which goes on 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year. So I run that on the side of doing this as well. So it's a dart. Basically, it's a stepping stone. You go there, if you're any good, you then make it to the PDC. So I'm still involved, but not in the mainstream of the PDC dart.
And you're doing the final tomorrow, right?
Correct.
How many finals will that be for you?
I actually don't know.
Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah.
I've no idea. I can make it up for you.
Oh, if you'd have known that.
Yeah, I would have been impressed if you'd have known that.
16, how about that? 16 finals you've done?
Probably something along them reasons.
Do you
Sorry, what's one of the most memorable one?
That's a tough question for me, really. I mean, I started off back before the PDC. I started off in the BDO. In 2004, at the BDO, Andy Fordham won it. So he was a big mate of mine at the time.
He's your brother-in-law, isn't he?
Yeah, we're actually
can't get any bigger mate than that, can it? So
You left that bit out, right?
I don't want to appear impartial, you know.
No, of course not.
he was 3 legs up before they started. Yeah, impartial.
Yeah, so that was quite a good one. And then I guess you know, being involved with Phil Taylor's winning it, you know, the greatest players ever lived. That brilliant, I guess. But I mean, for me, one of the most favourite matches of mine was when Phil Taylor. It wasn't a World Championship. It was actually a final of the Premier League, when you get 2 9-dot finishes in one match live on the TV. So it's never been done before, and it's still never been done previously. So
And he missed the third by the wire, didn't he?
Yeah,
You know?
he just missed the third.
And they booed him.
And rightly so. What about you, John? When you look back at your career?
Yeah, I mean, I've had the most incredible ride, really. I never thought in my wildest dreams it would lead to this. I did the boxing because I knew it, and then I got to that decision where I was doing the pool, the boxing, the snooker, the fishing, and I was being pulled from pillar to post. And I think Barry said to me one day, "What do you want to do? You can't be on EastEnders and Coronation Street, so make your mind up." And I thought, well, do you know what? I've watched this darts go from little leisure centres in the Premier League to massive arenas, and I thought this might be the place to be, you know. And also the fact that we was working 157 days a year, I thought, you know, would you rather work that or maybe 12 or 15 boxing events? So I thought, you know, I was trying to box clever as well as run a business within my own family. I thought, well, you know, this will be great. I'll do the darts. And then when I made that leap of faith, that was it. It was non-stop, and it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And whoever takes over, whoever gets this job, they got the best seat in the house, and long may they enjoy it, you know, because I have.
John, let me ask you then, because you've been around darts for a long, long time. Have you ever seen an explosion like we've seen the last couple of years with Luke Littler? You've seen some of the greats.
Do you know what, Darren? I'm a massive fan of young people, right? And you know, we all saw Wayne Rooney get his chance at Everton and that, and he came on, and people were going, he's a bit young, you know what? And that old lovely saying, if he's good enough, he's old enough.
Of course.
And I'd never known anything like it. I've been around boxing with great boxers and snooker with great snooker players, but I've never ever been stopped in the street like I am. You know, he's good, that kid, isn't he? And I go, yeah, he is, you know, but there is like a lot of them. It's not just him, but they all know Luke Littler, no matter who they are. Airports, cafes, they all know who he is. And I've never known anything like it my whole life. Wow. It's last couple of years.
There will be that conversation, is he the best ever? And obviously Phil Taylor with his 60 world titles, I think, holds that crown at the moment.
Question.
Do you think Littler has to get 17 before we can change our answer?
Well, probably people would say that, but I think the field's a lot deeper now. It's much more difficult to win a World Championships, although he's making it look remarkably easy so far these last couple of weeks. But and you couldn't really see past him not winning it. It's obviously 3 good players left in it, but he's definitely the favourite. But the field's a lot deeper now, so if he achieves anywhere near double figures, you know, he could easily be classed as the greatest. I think now where it's so deep. When Phil won his, I'm not taking anything away from him. When he's first 8, it was still a split. Well, a bigger split then, because a lot of the good players like your Barnevelds and all the good players, like your Van Geurens, are still in a different organisation. And they come along and made the field a lot harder. So I think the field's it's as deepest now as it's ever been. So if he gets anywhere near double figures, it would be an amazing achievement.
Do you think as well it could be down to when I talk about motivation? Now it's £1 million to win tonight.
Wow.
So could that be a factor as to he doesn't have to go on as long to achieve the?
I think so. Yeah, I really think so.
That's a great point.
Now, I mean, I'll go back like John was saying before. We used to do like the European tour. When that first started, I was there when it first started. You get 300 people in a hall to watch a European tour, and now you get 7,000. I mean, it's just absolutely exploding. That's free it's over 3 days of tournament. You have 7,000 a day. You can't get a ticket. You can't get in there. It's gone through the roof. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, now it's much more difficult to win, but.
Is there a ceiling, do you think, John? I'll ask you, do you think there's a ceiling as to how big darts can get? Because now it goes on longer than the Olympics, and there's the same amount of players as there is at Wimbledon, but we've only got 1 dartboard. They've got about 20 calls. So it's just, and we're moving to here next year as well.
Andy, that's a great question, and I've got no idea. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it went to stadium level for every event. It really wouldn't surprise me. It has to now in Germany because they've just run out of venues that can hold, you know, that amount of people. I think you did a show just recently, your organisation, Modus, an exhibition in Finland, and there was like 7,000 and 9,000 people. Wow. I mean, we don't even have darts in Finland, you know.
It was back-to-back days on a Sunday and a Monday.
You know, and then you look at what we did in Rotterdam when we had a problem, when we put 2 Premier Leagues on the Wednesday and the Thursday in Rotterdam, sold it out, big sea of orange, you know. It was just, I don't know, Andy, I really don't.
I mean, I'm right in saying there was 22,000 at the World Series finals.
You remember when we went to the Schalke Stadium in Germany, I wanted to go and see where Ian Walker hit the scoreboard with a goal kick. I thought, that's now impossible. He must have used a chipping wedge or something. And I'm standing there looking up, and the guy said, scoreboard, you're looking for the scoreboard? I said, yeah, I'm looking for it. How could you hit it, you know? 22,000 people. Halfway through the dart show, the guy said to me, now, when do we have our rock band on? And I'm like, a rock band? Are you nuts? What's that about? 22,000 people at darts. It's insane.
Wow. I'll tell you what is interesting is I think I'm right in saying that it's been here, Ali Palace, since 08. Before that was the Circus Tavern. I was lucky enough to go to a few of them. Would I be right in saying that neither of you in that time have ever sat in the audience and had a pint and enjoyed it?
Never.
Never.
Well, I wouldn't have a pint anyway. I don't drink, but you know, no. But
you get a pint of orange. But you've never sat there and enjoyed it, right?
You know what's weird about that, Andy? We get as many people now at the final in the press department, and that's, you know, our foreign television correspondents and press, that we had in the audience watching at Circus Tavern. You know, so is it possible that in the near future, the O2 Arena, 16,000 people, will be the home of the World Darts, and for 30, 40 days, however many people enter, that's where it will be sold out every event? Wouldn't surprise me.
Wow.
I mean, the tickets sold out in less than 2 minutes.
And it's been at the O2 before, right, for the Premier League?
When we sold that out, first time in our history, every single seat.
Yeah.
I mean, even the seat where you get a nosebleed, I mean, you're so far up, you get a Sherpa to take you to your seat, don't you? It takes you 3 days to get there. You know, look, I don't know. All I do know is that a lot of people get a great deal of enjoyment from it, and if that's good for sport, that's good for me. Quite where it goes in the future, that was such a great question. I think it's near on impossible to answer.
I just think it will get bigger in different countries as well. I think there's the States is now starting to pick it up. It's going to. I believe the explosions are on the cards in North America. And Asia's always been big, so I think they're probably the areas of expansion.
Correct, and also that Premier League goes to Belgium this year. Now, if you've ever been to Belgium for football, you know, it's very, very popular. And they have a very similar culture to us, and they have a similar culture to Germany, so I wouldn't see why they're telling me that arena's doing very well. That will sell out. I think that's another area very, very close to us that hasn't been explored. What will happen there, I don't know.
Boys, listen, I'm going to let you go. Purely because if I don't say that, John will carry on talking until 7 o'clock. I've known John long enough. John, you're working tonight, right?
Yes.
Well, listen, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And tomorrow will be your last one. I'm sure it'll be an emotional one. George, you got the night off, but you're back on tomorrow.
Yep.
So good luck to you as well. Round of applause for George Sobel. John McDonald,
Thank you.
everyone.
You're welcome.
Good
Thanks
work,
very much,
guys.
guys.
Have a
Great
good one
show,
tonight
thank
and
you.
tomorrow.
Pleasure.
We're going to have a quick break. More from me and Benny and loads more superstars. Join us live from Ali Pali ahead of the 2 semi-finals at this year's World Darts Championship. And both of those matches are coming your way right after we finish from 7 p.m. Welcome back. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bentz alongside me. We're live from Ali Pali ahead of the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals. Still to come, we'll be joined, fingers crossed, by the other 3 semi-finalists. We spoke to Gian Van Veen earlier on. Very confident young man he is. Let's talk a bit of football, shall we? Just quickly, AC Milan have signed West Ham striker Nicholas Fulkrug on loan for the rest of the season with the option to make the deal permanent. When I heard that earlier on talkSPORT, I was like, he's gone from West Ham to AC Milan.
Honestly,
how's that happened?
Their list of strikers that have gone there and just not worked.
Well, do you know what? I was listening to Sam Matterface and Crooked this morning. They were talking about, forgive me, I can't remember his name, but they're looking at a player. I can't remember
In
his
Porto.
name.
From Porto?
Is it Napoli? I think it's Napoli. That scored 2 goals all season, and before that was out with an injury.
Yeah.
And West Ham are looking to sign him for like £35 million. How's that? Why
Honestly,
is he doing that?
Their recruitment.
Who's in charge of that recruitment?
I like Fulkrug as well, but it hasn't worked for him. No Premier League goals this season at all. Just can't stay fit. But he probably can't believe his luck. He probably, when they said, "Oh, I've got AC," he probably sprinted there.
God, dear.
But no, Fulkrug. Do you know what? Covering him a lot in the Euros, I liked him.
Yeah.
And when they signed him, I thought, okay, but obviously he's got injury problems. We really like Callum Wilson. He's got injury problems. Like, their recruitment over the years has just been
Terrible.
so bizarre.
Isn't it nuts that you can have someone in charge of a multi-million pound company and spend £30 million often and get it wrong? Not just West Ham, but look at my club. Look at your club.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, Sesko. No, but they're spending like 60, 70 million pounds. Come on. 67, like Anthony, £90 million, right? Rasmus Højlund, I like Rasmus, £72 million.
But you got to think most signings are risks, aren't they? Unless you're getting Haaland or Mbappe, do you know what I mean? Most signings are risks.
But it's mad money, isn't it? Maybe we're just used to it.
Do you know, it's risks, but how one club could get it so wrong all the time, that would be a concern.
Yeah. Let's talk Chelsea. We haven't even spoken about this. They're in need of a new manager after parting company with Enzo Maresca yesterday. Comes after a run of 1 win in 7 Premier League games, whilst tension had been growing between the manager and the board behind the scenes. Maresca reportedly felt a line was crossed when those above him were getting involved with players who should and shouldn't play. It's thought Maresca went against the advice of his medical team when selecting players who were coming back from injury. Strasbourg boss Liam Rossigna is the main contender to take over. Under-21s manager Callum McFarlane will be in charge for Sunday's game at Man City. He spoke to the media earlier and said that the whole group have been professional.
You don't know what to expect, really, but they were... The energy and enthusiasm in training was exceptional today. They seem really focused. They're really driven, hungry. They know we've got a massive game on Sunday and we're going to have to be at our best. So you can feel that. They're professionals. They've done this a long time. They've been here before. Reece has been brilliant. He's been a real leader in the group and supported the staff and the players. So you can't ask for any more. It just seems like a real focus for getting the best performance we can on Sunday.
Look, we all knew that Maresca was coming under a bit of pressure. I think it's fair to say this came out of the blue, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. But, I mean, first and foremost, no club hierarchy should be getting involved in team selection or anything. Anything at player level in terms of the coaching, the strategy, the team selection, they should have no part, no say whatsoever. I don't even think they should have a say in the medical department, if I'm honest, but if they invest the money, maybe there's an argument to that. I don't agree with that. I don't think they should. So,
what do you mean, the medical department? Like if the medical team says he's not ready and the manager goes, well, I'll decide that.
Yeah, but also the hierarchy again, we spent a lot of money on him, and if 80% he's playing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that should never happen.
They should be involved.
Well, your man at Crystal Palace, what was his name?
Oh, Zaf.
Yeah. Now, I remember when we were there a few seasons ago and we had a chat with him and the rest of Palace. He told us that they had, at that time, the best record of players coming back from injury and staying fit. And that was because the manager, was it Patrick Vieira, was constantly listening to his medical team. And if they said he's not ready, he would not pick them.
No. And I think that's how it has to be.
Of course it does.
You don't want one of your best players. And these guys are commodities now. Do you know what I mean? They're valuable assets. If they're not ready to come back, you're going to have to hold them back for a couple of weeks. But I do feel a bit sorry for Maresca. And it almost feels like a little bit Pochettino-like as well, because Pochettino-like, because Poch probably thought to himself, Maresca probably thought, and Poch to a point, at first, I can deal with this, got a Chelsea job. But then as you're kind of going about your business, you want to start to put your stamp on the squad, on the team selection, on the tactics. You don't need someone from upstairs second-guessing you every single time you make a decision. So I think for the end, Maresca just thought, you know what, enough's enough. Now, listen, I like Liam. Right, and I've spent a lot of time with Liam. I spent a lot of time with him when we were doing Sky games about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a bit more than that. And he, in terms of analysing, a little bit like Keith Andrews at Brentford. These guys, when I'd sit down and have a conversation with them and they're talking about the way certain teams plays and the way they were talking about tactics, like, I promise you, it'd blow your mind. Keith and Liam, right? And Keith came in after Liam. Or either way,
okay.
Do you know what I mean?
It was tight.
It was tight, right? And listening to these guys talk about tactics and shape, and I was like, wow, I was blown away by Liam. And the fact he's doing so well at Strasbourg, I understand if Chelsea come calling, it's really, really hard to turn that opportunity down.
Impossible.
Because that may never come again. So I think, and he's under the same kind of coaching model anyway, the Strasbourg kind of, I can't remember what it's called, under that same umbrella.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's sister company.
So he might be almost forced, he might not feel like it's the right one for him, but he might force, well, this is the opportunity for me to take it. But Chelsea are never going to go and attract a manager like someone like a Tuchel, or because he's going to go, you're not telling me what to do. Like,
well, they had Tuchel and he went.
But that's the point. Tuchel earned the right to go, well, hold on, I'll make whatever decision I want. And that's where I'm not quite sure where Chelsea are. Chelsea, over about a 15-year period, had some of the best managers we've ever seen. Ancelotti's, Mourinho's, Tuchel was in there. Who else was in there? Gus Hiddink went there. Do you know what I mean? All these players, even Rafa, to a certain point, went there, won trophies. Chelsea are not going to get that type of manager again. Conte, because these managers are not going to go, hold on, you know nothing about football. You can't tell me how to manage this team. I've won big trophies before you got here. There's no one on the planet you could tell me what to do. So it's a really, really precarious situation for Chelsea now.
If you're joining us late, don't worry, we've got 2 hours left. We're building up to both semi-finals in this year's World Darts Championships at Ali Pali. You may be able to see behind us if you're watching on YouTube a dartboard. I've decided I'm going to come up with a feature between now and 7 p.m. So Darren Bent's got 3 darts. We're going to hopefully try and get Darren Bent to get a 180 over the next... No. Each time we go to a break, you're going to throw 3 darts. If one stays, if one hits it, it stays there. Then you got 2 darts. And over the next 2 hours, we've got to keep until we get all 3
But one
there.
would always stay there.
One will always stay, unless 2 go in 2. So your first 3 darts, I'll talk you through if you're not watching on YouTube. So Darren Bent's first 3.
I'll go to the side so I can see.
So, okay, that's fine. So dart number 1 doesn't go in it. That's a 1, by the way. Dart number 2.
No, so it's 18.
18. And dart number 3, nothing. What time are we off air? So he's got no chance, has he? There you go.
That on the camera don't look bad, that.
You did get 1 in the 20, let alone treble 20.
Oh, yeah.
Place your bets now. It's not going to happen. When we come back, we'll be building up to, of course, both semi-finals. And fingers crossed, we'll have 3 of the 4 semi-finalists because we've already had 1. Make sure you stay where you are. More from me and the darts player right after this Live and Drive and talkSPORT. Welcome back to Drive on talkSPORT. It's very cold. Me, Andy Goldstein, and equally cold Darren Bent alongside. We're live from Ali Pali in what I call the fridge.
I might get my gloves on.
Still, how cold is it?
My gloves in there as well, my
What's
bag.
the matter with? Why is it so cold, D?
You know, Joe, do you feel I can go and get my gloves?
Joe, look, producer Joe's got his gloves on. Unbelievable work. Still to come, we'll be having a look at the latest transfer rumours with the window officially open. Now, before we turn our attention back to darts, let's look back on last night's Premier League games. And, of course, the action was all live right here on the talkSPORT network.
A magnificent stadium, a magnificent arena, and the perfect place to start our Premier League coverage of 2026. And
Little touch on Calvert-Lewin, and he
he scored? The offside flag goes up. That's it, the full-time whistle. A stoic defensive performance that snuffed out any real danger that Liverpool offered up.
Lack of intensity in their performance played into Leeds' hands.
Liverpool 0, Leeds United 0.
Lovely pass to Kenny. Kenny's shot finds the back of the net, and Fulham have a leveller.
The way the second half has gone, I think it's a just scoreline at the moment.
Crystal Palace 1, Fulham 1.
Thomas Frank back at Brentford for the first time since joining Tottenham. Tottenham being told have not had a goalless draw since May 2022. And who was that goalless draw against? It was against Brentford. Oh, Coyotes won it back. Thiago over the top. It has finished here on talkSPORT. Brentford 0, Tottenham 0.
And there is the full-time whistle. A thrilling game. Ignore the scoreline. Sunderland 0, Manchester City 0. It's frustration maybe from the Manchester City players.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it was a fairly uneventful evening. 4 draws, 3 of those being goalless. One of those was at Anfield.
Blockbuster,
Liverpool
spectacular.
drew 0-0 with Leeds. It means only slot side unbeaten in 8 games now, but many fans were frustrated with the performance last night, and Slotty spoke to the media after the game and was asked what the display was missing.
A goal. That's the most simple answer. And to score a goal against a team that's defending so well in and around their box. There are a few ways to unlock it. That is, for some teams in this league, or for a lot of teams in this league, it's a set piece. We were close with Virgil. We got 8. Unfortunately, we didn't score.
Look, I mean, they didn't lose, they didn't concede, but any team that's trying to knock on the door of Champions League football, again, no disrespect against a side like Leeds, right? You need to win. You need to win those home games if you're going to push for that top 5.
Yeah, you'd expect so, but I mean, Leeds are in decent form as well. But it just didn't happen. Obviously didn't create enough. I mean, 19 shots as well, total, 4 on target, 35 touches, which is a stat I like in the opposition box. Liverpool definitely would have looked at that and thought, yeah, 3 points, we go on again. But fair play to Leeds, they hung in there, nearly nicked it with Calvert-Lewin as well. But I think that's where Liverpool are right now. I think they're a little bit inconsistent. I think the times, certainly this season, last season they were exceptional, but I think this season, those games where we expect Liverpool to just rock up and win 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row, are just not happening right now. At the minute, they're still trying to figure things out.
What's missing when you watch Liverpool at the moment?
Well, it's a tough one. I think they're still trying to figure out how to get these players in, because Wirtz played off the left. I like Wirtz. I think he will come good. Ekitike, Szoboszlai was playing in the 10. Frimpong played right wing. Bradley, I think that was the first time, or certainly it's been, I think it was the first time, but it's not been much that Bradley and Frimpong have played together as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's just teething problems as well. They're still trying to figure out what their best system is with the best players. I mean, Robertson played again yesterday. Kirkes came on. It's just, I think Arne Slot's still trying to search for that winning formula, and that, not even so much the winning formula, the consistent formula, because we know Liverpool at any given moment, a game they can go and blast someone away. We know that.
Yeah.
This can, for a consistent amount of time with the new signings he's made, get wins consecutively, and at the minute they're just a little bit up and down.
Right, let's move on to another goalless draw last night. This one was between Brentford and Spurs. It leaves Brentford 9th, Tottenham there sitting 12th, with Spurs fans chanting that their own team were boring. Their gaffer Thomas Frank spoke to the media after the game, said he understood their frustrations.
I think it seems like they were not too satisfied, and it's fair. I think when we don't hit a top performance overall, but I think it's double-sided, because I think what we need to understand is the acknowledgement of the defensive side of the game, which we've done excellent today.
Now listen, Spurs fans not happy with what they saw, but I thought before the game started that was a potential banana skin for Tottenham. They didn't lose, they didn't concede. Is that a point earned for Spurs or 2 dropped, do you think?
Again, it's a bit of a weird one, because Brentford, by the way, are on, do you know what I mean? They're a decent side at home. Do you know what I mean? 3 unbeaten. Well, it was two wins in a row coming before that. Spurs coming into that game as well. Beat Palace, had lost the previous 2 before that. So I understand where Thomas Frank's coming from with the defensive mindset, considering Brentford has been blasting people out there. To get a clean sheet away at Brentford, you probably go, right, we get that and move on. But I just don't know what Spurs are. You know, in terms of like the philosophy, the way that they play, attacking outfit. Like, one thing we knew about Ange, and Spurs fans didn't like that either, was one way of playing only. But it was entertaining. Although it went against him at times, most of the time it was entertaining with Ange. Even if 2-3 up, you're like, do you know what? The other team score, they might be back in this because they didn't have to shut up shop. So I just don't quite know what Spurs are and what their ambitions are.
12th they are now.
I know they're 12th and they're better than that, but I'm
not by much. You did this last week with me.
Yeah.
You said about 8th.
Maybe, and that's potentially because you're looking at, well, they're not better than Arsenal, they're not better than City, not better than Villa, not better than Liverpool, not better than Chelsea. Are they better than United?
Well, I mean, you could argue league table doesn't lie.
Exactly. So I'm looking at it thinking, well, I'm not quite sure what they are. Like, they're certainly not a team that's competing for the Champions League. That's fact.
No.
But it's what the ambitions are. And I always wondered this about this season. Ange finished 17th last season, but he won a trophy. They were happy with the Europa League, which I completely understand. But their league form, Spurs can't finish 17th. If Thomas Frank came in, and I said this, finished 10th, it's 7 places better than 17th. But are Spurs fans going to go, you know what? Like,
no, they're
not.
No.
So I never quite understood what the aims were going to be this season.
Yeah, okay. Let's finish with yet another goalless draw. This one was at the Stadium of Light between Sunderland and Man City. Dear City. Leaves them 4 points off Arsenal at the top of the league. Their gaffer Pep Guardiola spoke to talkSPORT. Graham Courtney after the game about where this leaves the title race.
Could this be damaging, looking back from the end of the season?
I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball to know exactly what happened.
You were ahead of where you were at this stage 2 years ago when you actually won the title, so a long way to go, isn't it?
Listen, I know you won't anticipate what's going to happen in the future. From my experience, I cannot answer you. I will have to tell you. So now it's recovery, because we have in less than 3 days another game at home, and that is what we need to do.
Listen, love Pep Guardiola, love Graham Courtney, but you're not going to get anything out of Pep that he doesn't want to give you. Understandably, he kept his cards close to his chest, but from your perspective as an Arsenal fan, how big a result was that for you and them?
It's huge, but it's not like it's just like when Arsenal dropped the points against Sunderland. Like it wasn't going to be over anyway. Sunderland is a notoriously tough place to go this season. They're unbeaten at home for a reason. They make it difficult. They got after Manchester City. Yes, Man City had some good chances, but at the end of the day, it's still a point gained. And I don't expect Arsenal now to all of a sudden be high-flying favourites because Sunderland got a point from City, because there's going to be so many chops and changes this season. There's going to be games Arsenal draw this year that you haven't expected them to do, and Man City win, and then everyone's opinion will change. Oh, City's to lose. So, yes, they got a point. Pep would have liked to have won that game, but Arsenal struggled up there. City have struggled up there. It's just one of those things. You move on to the next one. So I don't read too much into that, them dropping points against Sunderland, not at all.
Sunderland fans will be listening to this going, hold on. What about us? Give us a bit of credit. They deserve every...
No, I said that. I said at home, Sunderland have been absolutely outstanding. I mean, they probably couldn't have believed in their wildest dreams. They're currently sitting 7th.
That's unbelievable.
In the Premier League. They are so...
How many points from 6th?
From 6th, they're only 1 point. Your lot. So it's...
How many from top 5?
Top 5, 1 point. Chelsea 5th, 30. Man United 6th, 30. So
can they get Champions League?
No, I don't think so.
They can't.
But they've got to finish above Arsenal, City.
No, but 5th. Can they get 5th?
Do you know what it is? I just think over the course of the season, they will have a bit of a wobble. Like, at some point, you'd expect them. I mean, if they don't, fair play to them. But they're going to get beat at home at some point. They're going to have a little wobble. It's how they react to that. And at the minute, they look like they more than enough belong at this level. So I think they're comfortably going to finish. I think they're finishing the top 10 for sure.
Yeah. Which will be I think.
Oh my goodness.
I think when you're a newly promoted side, it's all about staying up.
Yeah, of course.
Even if you're 17th.
Even now.
Yeah.
Staying up.
Even now. Well.
No, still. Readers should be with any side.
No.
No, they've still got
in their mind, they're up.
No, they're not.
You don't think so?
No.
How many points are they on?
They're on 29 points.
So what, another 11, 12 points?
Yeah.
And they're safe. Not safe yet.
No, but yeah.
That's what you're saying. Sunderland not safe.
No, I'm not saying they're not safe, but I'm saying their mindset.
Are Sunderland safe?
I think they are.
Okay.
But their mindset will be, do you know what? Let's just get this over the line first. And fair play to Reedy Jabri and his squad. Absolutely fantastic.
Hey, this is Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Austin, Darren Brennan alongside. If you're watching us, you will know that we are live from Ali Pali ahead of both semi-finals at this year's World Darts Championships. Build up for both of those begin when we come off air at 7. Now, from just before 5 o'clock, I started this new game, and the aim of the game is for Darren Bent to get a 180. The rules are very simple. He's got 3 darts next to me. If one of those in any throw lands in the treble 20, we keep it there. Then he's left with 2 darts. He keeps going with 2. And if one stays, they're left with 1. And so hopefully by the time we come off air, he'll have a 180. Currently, there are no darts in the treble 20. Let's find out how he gets on the next batch. I'll talk you through it if you're not watching on YouTube. So here we go. Bentley's next attempt. First one, treble 1. That doesn't count. Next one is a 20. That doesn't count. And the last dart...
20. 20.
I mean, useless.
20.
What's happening? I said to Benny off edge. Yeah, I'll get one. Yeah. Do you think you'll get one triple 20?
Yeah, go another 3 quickly.
Okay, quickly. This is against the rules, but okay, quickly. Our producer Joe's gone. No, it's not really fair.
Sorry, Joe.
All right, okay.
Last one, Joe.
This is it. Last one, Joe. All right, I'll talk you through it if you're not watching. First up, no, not a treble. Not a treble, and the last dart, absolutely useless. We're going to have a quick break. Darren Bent will have some darting practice in the next 2 minutes, and when we come back, more from me and he and some darting superstars right after this live and drive on talkSPORT. See you in a second. We are live from Ali Pally, ahead of the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals. Fingers crossed we'll speak to Gary Anderson in a matter of moments. Still to come, we'll be having a look at the latest transfer rumours with the window officially open. Just quickly, Brennan Johnson is set to be included in Crystal Palace's squad to face Newcastle on Sunday after signing for a club world record £35 million from Spurs. Just quickly, before we talk darts, we're waiting for Gary Anderson to join us. Before we talk darts, the window's open. What do you need? Arsenal. My view, nothing.
No.
See, my view is, if I was an Arsenal fan, I think this is now your best chance to win big silverware. Beat Champions League, Premier League or both.
My only thing is, if you sign someone now, you sign them just for the sake of having them. Because you think about it, Havertz is on the bench now, so that's 3 centre forwards.
Okay.
Saka, Madueke, Trossard, Martinelli,
and Eze, you can
sit on the left.
Yeah.
You've got Eze, Odegaard and 10, Zubimendi, Norgard, Rice. Maybe another for Rice, but I mean, who do you find that defensively?
Well, you ain't going to get Adam Wharton here.
No, defensively now because he won't play.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, and defensively, Miles Lewis, Skelly, Calafiori, left back, Hinge Cape, Mosquera, Gabriel Saliba, Ben White, Timber. I mean. Honestly, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. But no, I like where Arsenal are. You obviously want to be greedy. I mean, if someone comes up and you go, like even like a Semenyo, like I love Semenyo, but really, like
the reason you get him is to stop other clubs getting
exactly
him.
That. And what's
although Man City have got the same problem that you've got, and they're looking to bring him in.
But potentially, but no, I think right now Arsenal are quite set in terms of where they go moving forward.
Okay.
What about you?
I've got. A striker would be nice.
We've got one else, let's go.
I don't know what we need. I mean, we need a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like centre-halves we don't really need, but he's playing 3 of them at the back, so...
What about a holding midfielder?
Well,
you got your guy in
Kobe Mainoo. I mean, he's coming back from...
Mate, let it go. Hey, let it go.
That's nothing to do with me. I'm not letting it go. I mean, he's there. Is he going to get a game? If Ugarte's not playing and Casemiro's not playing, is he going to get a game?
Probably not. I mean, he might do then, but he's out of a muscle injury, isn't he?
Yeah. I've got a funny suss. I don't know why Mark Gurley's going to leave Palace in this window.
And go where?
Well, I mean, Liverpool have been sniffing around other centre-half, haven't they?
Do you know what? At one point I thought, he's definitely going to Liverpool. Now I'm a little bit unclear as to where... if he goes there, fair enough. Great club.
Do you know why I think he might go?
Why?
Because he isn't cup-tied in European competition. In Champions League football. And so I think it'd be... For like someone like Liverpool, great acquisition. If they
can you imagine though if they win the Conference League with Palace? Listen, he goes down as a Palace legend anyway.
I know, but if you're Crystal, he's going to go for free at the end of the season, right? If you're Crystal Palace now and someone knocks on the door with 25 million, you've got to take that money. They're not going down.
I don't know, not where we're Palace are at the minute. Imagine you're Glasner, right? And I know you've got Brennan Johnson, brilliant.
But he's going anyway.
I get it, but you'd rather have him at the end of the season. I mean, for Glasner, the money doesn't matter to him. If he's got his best players, it gives him a better chance of winning something. Last thing you want to do is get Brennan Johnson in, who I think is a really good signing, by the way, for them, and losing your captain, your best player. It's like taking him with one hand and giving him with the other.
Talking to Brennan Johnson as well, obviously he leaves Spurs after being their top 6 scorer last season and scored that goal in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Do you expect Spurs to replace him with a bigger name or like £35 million incoming?
It depends who's about. I mean, Spurs fans, certainly the ones that I know, and I don't speak for all Spurs fans at all, as we spoke about yesterday, or the day before. See, most Spurs fans who I've spoke to just weren't on board with him. Like, yes, and one thing he's got, which I think is almost a special talent, which is an underrated talent, he's got this habit of when the ball's on the left-hand side, he gets himself in and around that back post area.
Waiting.
And it will drop to him, and he puts it in the net. Now, Palace are getting someone like that, which I think is an incredible signing, because that's an underrated skill. That the amount of wide players that spends way too much time outside the 6-yard box, the ball flashes across, they're nowhere to be seen. He's always covering that space, and I think if he goes in now and scores 10 goals for Palace, that's big.
That's a big ask, D.
Mate, it's a big ask. He's got
10 goals for
Palace.
Palace.
He got 18 last season. 18 last season. So why can't he get 10 now for Palace?
That's a big ask. Anyone that any centre forward that gets 10 between now and the end of the season is huge. You talked about Calvert-Lewin, right? He scored before last night. Scored 6 and 6.
Yeah.
If he scored
7.
Okay. If he scored 17 at the end of the season between now and that's huge.
Yeah, it's massive. But what I'm saying is, 10 goals for him. Remember, they're in Europe, so they're going to play a lot of games. Palace. They're still in the FA Cup's not started yet.
Yeah.
Palace. You're Conference League. You play a million games in that competition and Premier League. I think Brennan. I think it's a really, really good signing.
Right. More football later on. We weren't meant to do that then, but that's what happens when you talk football. We can look ahead now to the more darts with our friends at Village Hotels.
Drive, live from Ali Pali for the PDC World Darts Championship semi-final on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Get rooms from as little as £55 in the Big Village sale. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Yes, follow us at 7. You can hear live and exclusive commentary of the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals. Reigning champion Luke Littler will face Ryan Searle, whilst Gian Van Veen is up against Gary Anderson. We spoke, if you're joining us a bit late now, we spoke to Gian earlier on. He joined us just after 4 o'clock when we came on, which was very kind of him. I do hope that Gary Anderson joins us as well. That game, by the way, is second on. Anderson against Van Veen is second. Luke Littler against Ryan Searle was the first game that's live on talkSPORT. He seemed very relaxed. He's only 23 years old, and I talked to him about he's guaranteed, what, 200 grand, and he gets another 200 grand if he makes the final as well. Big money now in darts, isn't there?
Huge, absolutely massive, and it's tough because it's almost like he knows before he's about to throw what it's worth. So all these things are going around his head. Not only does he obviously, of course, want to win the World Championships, although he said himself that he didn't think he had a chance of winning the Worlds, but he's obviously, because he said he thought Luke Humphries was going to be there, and he's got past him. But every time you're up there, every throw, you must be thinking about it. 200, 400 grand, £1 million. Do you know what I mean?
Not every throw.
Not every throw, but it's bouncing around in the back of your head.
Yeah, maybe.
As he's coming towards the end, and he's got double, 200 grand.
Do you not think he'll be thinking, I could get into the final, yeah?
A little bit of that, but I mean, that amount of money.
I don't think they'll be thinking about the money.
Okay, he gets to the final, and he's got a match dart, £1 million. That's not going to be floating around in his head.
That's insane, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
One dart
for £1 million.
That is insane money.
So it has to be bouncing around in his head.
If you were Ryan Searle, he's got the tiny task of trying to beat defending champion world #1 Luke Littler a bit later on. Luke Littler won his game in under 40 minutes last night. If you're taking on Luke Littler tonight, you can't have a game plan, right? You just got to make sure you don't get blown away in a matter of moments.
You've got to pump them triple 20s. Got to keep hitting them, because he will. And I think that's what.
Are you, mate? Can I ask? Sorry. Are you? I was texting on our WhatsApp group last night, and I was saying this guy's on a different level. I genuinely think he's on a completely different level to every single other dart player by miles.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, but I mean, listen, you know Humphries is my guy, but what happened last night, I genuinely think with someone like Luke Littler, who is like talented and like naturally gifted, as you say, right, he can only beat himself. And that's a really dangerous opponent to have, because if I'm playing against you and you're that good and that much above everyone else, and the only person who could beat you is yourself, there's not really a lot I can do about it.
No.
Because if I show up and play my best dart, and you play your best, I can't get near you. I can't get anywhere near you. And that then, all of a sudden, as the game goes on, and I know I'm playing my best, and you're pulling away, eventually it's going to start to take its toll on me, and I'm like, I can't beat this guy.
But I think the only chance you've got personally of beating Luke Littler is over like best of 5 legs, like first couple of rounds. Now they're up to, I think it's like first to 6 tonight, right? I don't know anyone on the planet that can get to 6 before Littler does.
You can't miss a double. As soon as you get an opportunity, you have to take it, because it's one of them where you know he's behind you, and if you don't hit your double, you know he's going to take his out. So it's going to be fascinating. It really is.
It will. Fingers crossed. Gary Anderson will be joining us in the next 5 or 10 minutes. But for the time being, that was all thanks to our friends at Village Hotels.
Drive, live from Ali Pali for the PDC World Darts Championship semi-final on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Get rooms from as little as £55 in the Big Village sale. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Now, just before the hour started, I come up with a brand new game for Darren Bent to, over the course of the next 2 hours, hit a 180. Goldstein, that's impossible. No, there are rules, right? Every time we go to a break, he throws 3 darts. If one lands in the treble 20, it stays there. So he now needs to get 2. And if the next one goes in at some stage, and then hopefully by the time we come off air, the last one will go in. Currently, let me have a little count out. Currently in the treble 20.
None.
Hold on. None. All right?
Did it go?
So only one go last time he had 6 darts. Here we go. I'll talk over it. Didn't get with the first. 2 5s. This is not good. Nothing. Sorry, 2 5s and a 1. 11. By the way,
Man's cold.
In the last break, I had a go and I got 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair play.
Are you going to get 1-8? Are you going to get 1, let alone 1-8?
Of course I'm.
Come on, man.
Once I've had some chicken strips, I'll be all right.
Okay, get some chicken strips down here. Still to come, we'll have some fun with the best of talkSPORT. But first, it's time for No Googling Part 2. Oh, bit of darts ahead of the World Darts Championship semi-finals, live on talkSPORT. We want to know, this is a great question, ready? Don't cheat. Great question. What is the least hit segment on the board in professional darts, including all doubles, all singles, and all trebles? Let me say that again, because that is an unbelievable question.
Say again.
What is the least hit segment? What's the least hit part of the board? Now, you can't, it's not a generic, like,
I know
out of balls.
I know it is.
It's a specific part of it, right? As in a certain number.
Hey, it's on this side. My side.
It is on the left-hand side of the board. What is the least hit number, if you like, or segment, might be double, might be treble, might be single, on the board in professional darts, including all doubles, all singles, and all trebles? Ironically, I can't give it away, but ironically, yeah, how weird's that? The answer to that, fingers crossed, Gary Anderson will join us right after this live and drive on talkSPORT. Welcome back to Ali Pally. This is Drive Time. We are here for the next, hour and 24 minutes before we hand over to 2 superstars building up to both semi-finals. You can hear both semi-finals of the PDC World Darts Championship live on talkSPORT. In a moment, we'll say hello to those superstars. But first, the answer to the question, and it was, what is the least hit segment on the board in professional darts, including doubles, singles, and trebles? The answer is 11. 11. About 0.15% of all darts thrown land in 11, or if Benny's playing, about 95% of them. You are listening to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me and he. We're live from Ali Pally. All thanks to our friends at Village Hotels. Rooms from £55 in the Big Village sale. Book now at villagehotels.com. Still to come, we'll have some fun with the best of talkSPORT. But as I've already said, following us at 7 on talkSPORT, we've got live commentary of the PDC World Darts Championship. Now, years ago, whenever it was, when someone at talkSPORT went, let's put the darts on the radio, some people went, it would never work. Well, it does work, and one of the main reasons for that is because of the likes of Chris Mason and Paul Nicholson, who join us now, who have been absolute, not just this year, but every single year we've been lucky enough to have the World Darts Championship on talkSPORT. Boys, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. Good
afternoon. Well done, firstly, well done for just...
Thank you. It's been a slog.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, it's been hard work. Well, the first, what did we do, 13 doubles,
straight days, yeah.
Double sessions on the spin, so they were like 14.5-hour days in here. So
let me, hold on, I've got that violin. Where'd you put it?
Yeah. I'll go and cry in my Bentley on the way home.
Yeah. That's a long time on air, right? That is a long time.
Well, especially when you're trying to constantly, you know, we've got a script, but the players create that script, so we've just got to try and not make it be repetitive. So we're constantly looking for stories and angles and trying to add a bit of fun to it as well, but you know, take it very serious.
Let me ask you, Paul, I'll ask you, right, because I was chatting to someone earlier on, they told me now the darts goes on longer than the Olympics. There's the same amount of competitors as there are at Wimbledon, but they've got about 20 courts, we've got one dartboard.
Yep.
And I think it's going to get bigger. Next year it's in here, of course. Can it get too big? Can it go on for too long?
I think it can get too big. I don't think it should get any bigger than it is. I think 128 is a nice number. I think there was a lot of scrutiny about having 128 in it this year, but I think it's lived up to the nicer side of the expectation, so that we have seen a lot more countries involved. We've had 6 continents involved for the first time as well. So countries like Argentina and Kenya and other countries getting on board. I think it's a nice size, but any bigger, there would be question marks.
Yeah, I thought there was an initial fear, certainly for me, it would dilute it too much. But it was the opposite.
But do you think that from your perspective, because as a fan, we just get another chance to go in that room, watch live sport, darts, which we all love, have a drink with our mates. So we might see it differently to you guys, right? You've got to work on it. We just have fun at it.
Yeah, and then you've got to worry about the quality aspect. But the ones that, like you said, David from Kenya was just, and I thought, I looked at all of his numbers coming in. There was not a great deal of stats, as you could imagine. I feared that it could backfire, and he was absolutely amazing. He lit the place up.
Is that was the problem? Is that what he was worried about? It was that maybe the quality. It was certainly you start to see more and more people, and then you start to see some of the legs be kind of walkovers.
Yeah, we had Jesus Solati of Argentina as well, and South American darts is very much in its infancy. They're working with the Championship Darts circuit in North America to try and go south into Central America and into southern parts of both Americas now. And what we saw from Jesus was very encouraging, because we want to take darts to these places. We don't just want to have it as a European-centric sport. We actually want it to be a global sport like others.
And when it's in here, this place, of course, so much history.
Did you ever
steeped
play
in
in here?
darts. Yeah.
You did play in here?
Yeah, I think I played 4 times in here.
And how many people watched that?
It was the same. It was a different configuration when we played here. It was lengthways, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was long and thin. Now it's very wide and sort of stumpy.
But
Can I just say, people have just turned on the radio, we're talking about darts. Just in case.
But this place, and the plain glass windows, of course, synonymous with the news of the world back in the day. And I think there used to be 15,000 in here, but of course they were just crammed in. So it's gonna look incredible. I can imagine what they're going to do, light everything up, and it's going to be a new experience for everybody. And it's demand, which is a great thing.
And you think it's a good idea that it comes in here?
Yeah,
because it's absolutely incredible in there. Obviously next door, but here, it's how the layout's going to be.
Yeah, I think we were having a walk around here a few days ago, just trying to figure it out in our own minds. And we think that the back portion of this, towards a monstrous stained glass window, which kind of looks like a dartboard, at this side of Ali Pali, I think they'll have that as the entranceway, and then looking towards, to my right, as we're looking at it right now, that's where the board will be over there. The possibilities are phenomenal. I think Ali Pali, as a charity, as a company, they're going to do an incredible amount of work in the next 10 months with the title sponsor and the PDC. And I can't wait to walk in here in early December and see what it looks like.
All right, well, that's then. Let's talk about the now. All right, we've got 2 semi-finals coming up. First on stage, Luke Littler against Ryan Searle. Now, I'm a big fan of Luke Littler. I know you two are as well. He's only dropped, 2 sets on his way to the last 4. That was against Rob Cross in round 4. Last night it was under 40 minutes. He won, 5-0. I can't, even if he has an off day, I can't see anyone. I think
he's had one already where he averaged 97, and the rest of it's been incredible. So it's too late. He's had his off day. I just don't see how. We dig deep into the metrics to try and find any kind of patterns or any. Is there a reason why he's not going to average 105? And there isn't any. There's more evidence that he's going to average 105 than not. He's just a phenomenon.
Let me ask you both this question. It's horrible. Before you answer, have a think about it, okay? Phil Taylor's won 16. Luke's looking for his second. If they went head-to-head in their pomp, who wins that game? Who's the better player?
Taylor.
You think Taylor's even though averages suggest it's Luke?
No, they don't.
They don't?
Taylor has averages that are still record averages, tournament averages, statistics which still stack up well above what Luke's doing. And there's a big difference playing against Phil Taylor than playing against a Ryan Searle or Luke Humphries or a Gary Anderson or a MVG. They don't have the mental capacity to almost make you wilt before it even starts.
I think Mace right. If you look at the 2009 European Championship, which I believe is Phil Taylor's peak, he averaged 110 for 5 games. And then against Gary Anderson in the quarters, he averaged 118. We haven't seen that level from Luke in a place like this.
Fair enough.
So there are comparable data.
And the boards are way better now. Way better and way easier.
In what elaborate? What do you mean the boards are better?
Because they've got the wires even thinner, the target area is even bigger. So the boards that I would have been playing on in the late 90s are between, depending on which brand, the modern board today is between 12 and 15% bigger. So when people talk about Bristow and, we only averaged 95, put 12% on it.
The actual size of the ball was the same.
Size of the
but
board
the actual area that you could throw a dart into is bigger now because the wires are a lot thinner.
Yeah, so they basically...
And what percentage is that?
And it's a bit like what they do. It's between 12 and 15% bigger.
That's huge.
Yeah, with a game about small margins, you know, it makes a huge difference. And of course, it's better for the fans. So you get more 180s. Look when 9 darters started happening. It's not a coincidence.
So let me ask you then, Paul.
Yeah.
Do you think then Littler's at his peak? Or because how much further can he go? Because right now he's showing us things that be like, whoa, mind-blowing. So how much better can he get? Because that's quite scary.
I think there's going to be a peak from him. There's going to be a tournament he plays in the next 5 years where we think it can't get any better than that. I haven't seen his peak yet. I've seen him average 117 in best of 7 legs. That's the kind of level we can expect from him in set play. He set a set average record here last year of 140. I can't even conceive of anybody getting any better than that, because that was 32 darts in a set. I mean, some people
takes me a leg, 32 darts.
Guilty.
So I think there's going to be a tournament where he finds the sweet spot, a bit like Taylor did in 2009 at the Euros in Hoofddorp in the Netherlands. And I just think he'll probably average 112, 115 for a tournament.
I think if he takes the sport seriously, which probably sounds mad, but he didn't even bring a dartboard with him.
What do you mean?
Well, he's staying in a rented house, so the players now have all these, what they called them, like a travel board that comes up on a frame, gives you an hockey, and you can practice.
You don't do that?
Didn't bring one with him. Didn't bother practicing.
That's crazy. But John Daly was a great golfer, and he didn't used to go to the range much.
No.
Yeah, but it's different to taking a golf club in your bedroom, isn't it?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it could do a bit of damage. Yeah, I think at the moment, because he's so, he started so young, and it's like when you learn how to walk, it just becomes second nature. Darts to him and throwing at the board just is second nature because it's inbuilt. But at some point, when, what's the phrase? Hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. He will reach a point where everybody will sort of catch him up a little bit, and then he might have to graft.
We've sadly got to let you go. Give me a prediction for both. Luke Littler, these are both live on talkSPORT, by the way. Build-up begins from 7 week come off air. Luke Littler, what score will he beat Ryan Searle? Sorry, Ryan Searle fans. I'm being honest. We all think Luke's going to win.
I think we've already said that Littler's going to win the game because all the metrics do tell us this. I think Littler's going to win 6-1.
Okay, and the other one, which is second up, Gary Anderson against Gian Van Veen. How will that go?
This could be absolutely anything. They met once before in the Slam, 16-14. It was a while ago. It was 2024 in favour of Anderson. So if Van Veen was that close to him then, this version of Van Veen's better than that version. So I think this could go 6-5 either way. But
okay. Boys, listen, keep up the great work. I mean, darts doesn't work unless you two work, so that's very kind. Before I let you go, since we came on here, Darren Bennet's been trying to hit a 180. If he hits the treble, it stays there. You two are professional dart players, right? You can choose one of them to take you 3 darts. Who do you want to do it? Chris, if you'd like to step up these 3, you've got to put your foot on the hockey there. I'll talk you through it if you're not lucky enough to be watching.
By the way, it's about 7 foot. It's freezing cold. I've got a coat on, but no excuses.
Okay, you can take your headphones off.
Because I saw Paul throw earlier, so we've seen him throw.
Here we go, Chris. First dart, he's got to get 1 treble. It gets out the board, so nothing there. That's oh dear, maybe you shouldn't be watching this one. He got 3 of them. he got none of them. Boys, keep up the great work. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
a round of applause for wonderful Chris Mason, Paul Nicholson. We're going to have a quick break. I'm looking at my producer. Is Gary Anderson going to join us next? He's given me a thumb up, so make sure you stay with us. Semi-finalist Gary Anderson joins me and Bentley live on Drive on talkSPORT right after this. Welcome back to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent. We're live from Ali Pally, ahead of the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals tonight. And joining us now is one of the men in action. It gives me great pleasure to say hello to the legend that is Gary Anderson. Hello, legend Gary Anderson.
All right, how you doing, boys?
Oh, good. Let me just put that in front of your mouth so people at home can hear you. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good. Good.
Firstly, thank you so much for coming down to join us today, because I'm guessing it's such a busy afternoon for you guys, right?
Yeah. Supposed to be doing their practicing, getting ready.
We've got a dartboard there if you want to throw just tell us about what you've been up to today then. Have you practiced yet today?
Not a lot, just had a nice lazy day in the room. Wife and kids were out shopping, so I had a nice peaceful afternoon.
When you arrived here at Ali Pally, it feels like about 18 months ago for this year's World Championship. It's a long event now.
Yeah.
Genuinely, what were your aspirations realistically? What were you hoping to achieve?
Just get past the first round. You know, every one of us, even Luke Humphries, is getting past that first game. There's a lot of pressure on that first game, and then after that, whatever happens, happens.
Do you think the first round is long enough? I've always had this problem. I think first to 3 sets, it could cause an upset too early.
It's good though, isn't it? It's good. I mean, I went out first round last year to Jeffrey, and yeah, I think if I'd waited on longer, I was still going to get beat with him anyway, so it didn't really matter. But it throws up some good results.
Is it a case of now you have to start fast?
You've got to nowadays. I mean, the talent that's coming through in the darts, well, it's second to none now, so it's getting harder and harder every year.
Have you noticed that as well? Because we were speaking before about some of the young players that are coming through. We had obviously Van Veen, that's coming through. 23 years old. This emergence of a young darts player. Have you noticed that the level just going up and up and up?
The level's not going up. It's the same as what we boys are still hitting. You know, us old lads. It's just that there's more of them.
Yeah.
You know, before you maybe have 20 that could hit 100, 105 average. Now you've got 128. So it's no. I wouldn't say they're getting any better than us, or better as in averages wise. There's just more that can hit them.
Tell me about your own game at the moment. You've had some great results. Michael van Gerwen, of course, 4-1 in round 4, I think that was.
Yeah.
You must be delighted with your form so far.
Yeah, it's going all right. I still like to have a good high 100+ average, but it's been kicking about. There's been some very good legs, and then a couple of legs it's not been too clever, but when it's come to the main point of I managed to check out when I needed to.
Do you put that down to anything? Are you doing anything different, or is it just one of those, it's clicking now, it didn't click last time?
Yeah, no, it's one of these things. Like I say, they say, how are you going to play tonight? I've not got a clue. Well, I get on that stage and start playing, then I'll soon know how it's going to go.
You still get the same buzz when you come in. Obviously, you're two-time world champion. You come here, you still get that same kind of energy.
Oh, exactly. You know, and like I say, next year we're moving to the Great Hall.
Here, right, where we are now.
Where we are now, so it'll be really good to. I'll still be playing, so I definitely want to play in that stage.
Have you ever played in here?
No.
You haven't, because obviously news the World Championship. I know you weren't about there, I know that. I know that. You might have come as a fan to watch, I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, Benny mentioned that you're two-time champion of the world. You did it 2 times on the bounce. Very rare. It doesn't happen.
I lost in the 3rd against Michael van Gerwen.
That's right. Yeah. But to get 2 on the bounce is very rare. Luke Littler's looking to achieve that this year. How difficult is it to defend a world title?
It's hard enough winning one, never mind defending it, you know. And when I came back the second year, right for the word go, my darts were brilliant. You know, I played really well, and it's just one of the things. But it's like I say, getting here and playing in this World Championships, that's the hardest part of this tournament. I wouldn't say winning it; it's just getting here and playing it and finding it on that stage.
You've got a good record against your opponent tonight. Do you know it? I know it. If you don't, do you know it?
Don't jinx me.
Oh, can't tell
you've got a really bad record against your opponent. You might be able to turn this. Okay, well, I won't tell you what it is.
I've played Jan a few times.
You played 5 times?
Yeah, but I think they absolutely battered me and Peter in the World Cup.
Okay.
So
well, I was going to ask, does that count for anything? Not necessarily tonight, but whenever you meet someone in the last 4 of a World Championship?
You have a bit of laugh, don't you? But it means nothing. Like I said, Jan, he's the next. Well, he's already up there now, but he's going to be around for a long, long time. Lovely lad, clever lad. He's got his head well screwed onto his shoulders. You know, he's just getting better and better.
Do you watch other players? Did you watch his game last night?
No.
You don't? Does anyone do that?
I don't know if any of the boys watch darts. Maybe if it's popped up or my boys watching it, I'll sit and watch for 5 minutes. But I don't really watch darts, no.
£1 million goes to the winner. You won it in 2015 and 16. Can you remember what it was when you won? I don't know the answer to that.
I think it's about 35 quid.
I thought you were going to say 2 and 6.
No, I think off my head, 350.
Okay. I mean, that's still crazy money, 10 years ago?
Back then,
£1 million is insane, right?
Yeah. Taxman will be rubbing his hand, won't he? Yeah.
I was watching you, I think yesterday you were interviewed about just how big darts is now and how many tournaments there are to play and how difficult it is for darts players to play in every single event. You don't do that now, you pick and choose, right?
I do. I mean, it's a travelling. I mean, it's great to be these youngsters, you know, they go all over the world. I've been all over the world and I've loved every minute of it. You know, I've seen countries that I've dreamt about going to, but I've done it with playing darts. But it's a hectic schedule. It's really bad, especially for the Premier League players.
Yeah. Okay, I won't bother asking you if you're going to be in that, because you mentioned a hectic schedule. You've got one now. I'm under strict instructions to let you go in about 3 seconds' time. Gary Anderson, a real pleasure and an honour. Thank you so much for your time. And best of luck, break a leg tonight as well. A round of applause for Gary Anderson, looking to book his place in the final of tomorrow. You can go if you want. I won't keep you anymore. Thank you so much for that. Sorry if it mucked your hair up, but it didn't. It looks great. He said he's going to go over there and try and win 50 quid. Right, how good's that? Gary Anderson will be on stage second. He plays Gian Van Veen second tonight. First up is Luke Littler against Ryan. So on both of those semi-finals will be live on talkSPORT. talkSPORT build-up begins in an hour's time. Before we go to a break, it's time for Darren Bent to try and get a 180. Yeah. So all night he's been playing. Hold on, before you do it, in case people join us, his mission is to get a 180. You might think that's difficult, but if he throws a dart and it lands in treble, it stays there, and then we only have 2, and we carry on. So far, he's got none in the treble since we took. That's a 20, but it's not a treble. Second shot is a treble 1, that's close, and a 5. Don't laugh at him. It's difficult. The last hour of our drive time show is coming up right after this, and it's an hour you do not want to miss. We'll see you right after this. Welcome back to the last hour, Drive and Talk Sport. It's me, a very cold Andy Goldstein, next to an equally cold Darren Bent. Still to come, we're previewing a huge weekend of Premier League action, including Manchester United trip to Leeds. But now, you can probably guess, judging by the noise around us, we're here at Ali Pali, and the semi-finals of the World Championships, they are just around the corner.
Double 16, he only needed one! And for the first time, Gian Van Veen goes through to the semi-finals of the PDC World Darts.
How can you not love this sport? Uncharted territory for the man from Devon. Makes it through to the last four at Alexandra Palace for the first time ever. This is heavyweight darts.
It's seldom you come across any sportsman that changes the face.
Luke Littler once again through to the final four here. Business taken care of.
Obviously Gary's in the other half, so obviously could it be me and Gary in the final? Could I go back to back? We'll never know.
Darts is simply magnificent.
Yeah, we're just over an hour away now from the start of play at Ali Pali, with Luke Littler taking to the stage against Ryan Searle in the first semi-final tonight. Now, earlier on, I did our next two guests a disservice. I said darts only works on the radio because of Chris Mason and Paul Nicholson. I forgot about Mark Wilson and Ian Danter that make up our brilliant quartet of darters, or dart commentators. Either way, Mark and Dance, good to see you both.
We're not going to argue with that, are we? No.
I have to say that it only works darts on the radio because of you four. I said you two, they'll take all the credit. But you four have been nothing short of brilliant whenever you do the darts for talkSPORT. And I just feel, I don't know about you, but I always feel every time we get to a World Championship every year, it gets bigger and bigger and better and better. We're at the last four stage now. We've got today and then it all ends tomorrow night. How have you found this year's World Championships, Dance?
It's been extraordinary. I mean, the field was expanded this year to 128 players for the first time, so that's a novelty. We've seen some incredible stories throughout, haven't we, Mark? We've seen, like, Nitin Kumar, an Indian winner for the first time. We've seen Justin Hood on debut surprise everybody by getting all the way through to the quarterfinals. We've seen, great atmospheres. Here we are in this room where next year, this is where the action will take place, in this great hall. There's been so many wonderful moments, haven't there?
I think when they expanded the field, you worried, are there going to be a lot of one-sided games? And we've seen stars from Japan, from Switzerland, from India, America winning games here for the first time. I think it's worked, and I think the fact that we've seen a guy from Africa win on this stage here, what's that going to do for darts in Africa? They can get here, win 15,000 just for getting here, and the riches of the world are on offer. So I think it's just expanded everything.
We're down to the last four, Dance. Do we have the best four left?
Well, that's normally what happens. And nobody's got here by fluke. Nobody's got here by sheer, luck. Everyone's worked hard. Ryan Searle has never made it this far before, nor has Van Veen. Anderson and Littler know what it takes to go all the way and lift the thing. Searle, I'm a bit of a Searle fanboy. I've been a fan of his for some time. I'm delighted that he's made it. He's such a shy and unassuming fella. He's talked in great detail about the visual stigmatism that he suffers from, that he's passed on to his daughter. But he's got through to the last four, played some smashing stuff. But Van Veen, there's something about what he's doing, I think, at these championships that's making everybody think, well, if somebody can give Littler a game, maybe it's him.
Absolutely can. You look at the stat. You mentioned, have we got the best four? Yeah, we have. You look at the stats, that bears that out. These are at the top of all the big stats, all the big averages, top five averages in the tournament from the four guys that we're going to see tonight. So it's going to be a cracking night.
Well, Daz, let me ask you, in terms of shocks, because as you said, Van Veen, he's been incredible, but that last night was almost like a statement. I know he's beaten him 4 times previous to that.
Yes.
But to do it in the manner that he did it, that would have made everyone go, oh, OK.
Well, that just shows that it's not coincidence that what he'd done before the European Championships and other events where Van Veen had got the knock on Humphreys. And you could see about 2/3 of the way through that game, Luke was probably thinking, I can't do anything here. There's nothing I can do to wrest control of this game back from Van Veen. Hugely impressive. There have been other great shocks in this tournament. One of the games of the tournament I covered was Justin Hood knocking out Danny Nopper.
Oh, wow.
In one of the early, but just and Mark was calling me the game pig because I was picking out all these games that went to sudden death legs, but that was just an extraordinary game of darts. And the story of Justin Hood, let's see how that develops into next year. There's all the jokes about buying a Chinese restaurant and all that with the winnings that he's made, but genuinely, his first year on tour, he's broken into the top 100. What can he do next year? Because he said to me in an interview he felt he was being a bit lazy about the amount he practiced. So if he applies himself going into this year, what can he achieve?
Daz, when Benty asked you about Luke Littler, you said Van Veen might give him a run for his money. Does that mean Van Veen beats Gary Anderson tonight then?
We've been talking about that, haven't we? And it's certainly not impossible. But I mean, Ando has been posting some fantastic ton-plus averages, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. But I think the key stat for me, in the difference I think that will be tonight, is that Van Veen's finishing has been magnificent. Gary's has been OK. And he was very good against Hood. He went on a spell of finishing that won him the game. He's going to have to do that again tonight. I think if he's fractionally off on his finishing, I think Gian will beat him. I mean, we've seen this guy rewind to the beginning of last year. Seen him in tears in the hotel, Gian Van Veen. He lost in a Pro Tour event. He missed I think 7 darts to win his first ever title. And he was there in tears. I saw him the next day and he admitted he wasn't going to turn up. He turned up and he won the event. He beat Luke Humphries in the final, and since then he's just taken off, won the European Championship. He's gone from a guy who hopes he can win to a guy that knows he can win, and I think that's what makes him dangerous tonight against Gary Anderson, who's an outstanding player, but I think if Van Veen's on form, he wins.
Never forget Van Veen's played through dartitis as well. He's one of those players who's suffered for that in recent times and played through. You did against Gabby, didn't you? Yeah. Did a sudden bout of dartitis against Gabby Agbonlahor. Who knew?
Both elbows.
So let me ask you about Van Veen, because to beat a world champion, of course, Gary Anderson has been there back-to-back. He's won world championships, so he's got that experience to get that over the line. But the fact Van Veen beat a former world champion last night in Luke Humphries, will that give him massive credit going into tonight?
Yeah, sure. I think also knowing that he's pretty much a shoo-in for the Premier League will give him a huge boost of confidence. He wasn't aware necessarily before he gave his written media press conference last night that being a top 4 player guarantees you a Premier League pick, Van Veen. So he was slightly taken aback by the realisation of what he's done and what that leads to. So everything's little stages. Okay, so he's taking everything in his stride, it seems to me, in the same way that Luke did a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, he did, but I think Gary enjoys being written off. I think the fact that everyone's saying Van Veen's going to beat it, that he'll be listening or whatever to all the hype, and he'll be good. Because the first thing he said to me last night when I said, you're going to have a tough tie in the semi-finals, he said, well, what about them? They're going to have a tough tie as well. So if he comes and plays his best game, we could have an absolute blockbuster. It could go right to the very end.
Let me ask you, I grew up in an era where it was either Jockey Wilson, John Lowe or Eric Bristow. It was one of those. I mean, there would be other dart winners around that, but it's usually one of those got to the final and was winning it. Then we had the dominance of Phil Taylor. Now we've got the emergence of Luke Littler, that I think if he wants to could be world #1 world champion for the next 15-20 years. We've seen it in other sports. Steve Davis, snooker in the 80s, Stephen Hendry, snooker in the 90s, and so on. We see it in tennis. Do you prefer dominance? Do you prefer Littler winning this year, next year? Or would you like, we've got 3 other players that are going to try and stop him. Do you think it's better for darts if we have a different winner every year or the same winner?
I think Luke Littler has changed this sport, like it or not, and I think the players will admit that. He's shot to prominence at the time. The TV deal's getting, the money now is going through the roof, and the money's going to keep going through the roof. They're going to be playing for more and more money. So he's great for darts. Is it good he wins all the time? It's up to everyone else to stop him. It's not his fault. If he beats everyone, then he beats them.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan? Is it good if we get a dominant figure in sport, in darts?
Taylor did incredible things for the PDC in its infancy. You have to remember, when the PDC split from the BDO, it was a smaller organisation, but it was Taylor's charisma and his ability and his averages and his success that drove the success of the PDC, aided and abetted, of course, by Barry Hearn and players like Nico and Mace getting involved, and it's become this extraordinary organisation that you witness now with what we have here. We've had different years, different winners every year for the past few years. The last back-to-back winner was Gary Anderson, 2015-2016.
Yeah.
So we've had different winners every year here at the Alexandra Palace. It doesn't affect darts if Littler wins again this year. In fact, we were going through the list, weren't we, just in our little green room about who's won the major tournaments this year. It has been Littler. Shouldn't forget Humphries, who won the Premier League, and Michael Van Gerwen.
Yeah.
There's been three players between them who've won all the major tournaments this year.
What's surprising me the most about that is you've got your own little green room.
It used to be huge, right? But now, because everyone's coming, our room's got smaller and smaller and smaller.
Okay. It's turned into the TARDIS now.
I hope you've got heating in yours.
No, don't be silly.
Jeez.
When it comes in here, the darts, right? Are you still going to have a little shed on the side of the hockey?
We'll probably be outside.
You want to get in that shed. It is red hot, by the way. It is red hot.
I've been in it, and there's no room, right?
No, there isn't. No.
But it still produces the drama. It sounds like from you guys. Of course, you're responsible for bringing us the drama through your eyes. What sort of drama are we going to see tonight, Dan? So we'll start with you with the first semi-final, Luke Littler against Ryan Searle.
Searle's got to get off to a flyer. He's got to win. We were talking about this, he's got to win the first set, maybe even the first 2 sets. Littler can be a slow starter. But even if Littler posts his lowest, equals the lowest average he's got in this tournament so far, 3-dot average, which is 97, that's still enough to beat Searle.
Yeah.
Searle has managed a 102 average in this tournament, but I think he's got to get off to an absolute flyer and get Littler worried. But then Littler's got levels, hasn't he? Littler's just got this ability just to stare through the board, it seems to me. And his 180 record this year is outstanding, and Searle's 180 record is not. So it's getting down to those finishes.
You can't win it in the first 3 sets, but you think he could lose it in the first 3?
I think he could get blown away, and if there is a criticism, I'm criticising a guy that's got to the semi-final for the first time. But if there is a criticism of Ryan, when he gets behind, his head can drop. So I'm with Dance. If he starts well, he's got a chance, but the stats say he's going to have to outperform himself to do anything.
I think he's got to improve his 180 record. His doubling record's great. He gets Searle on tops, like Littler on 10s, then it's pretty much home and hose that he's going to hit that double in one visit.
Littler.
For me, I think it'd be Van Veen. I do. I think he'll just have too much. I think he's a young man now that is so full of belief. I think if he was playing Littler tonight, he'd believe he's going to beat him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Can I ask? I didn't see the Gary Anderson Michael Van Gerwen match. I didn't see that. If that Gary Anderson turns up, does he win?
He has never lacked his self-confidence and self-belief. To prove doubters wrong, because he could easily have drifted out of this sport, couldn't he? He could have, you know, not shown as much interest in the sport. He doesn't particularly want to do Premier League, and there's another argument to be had. If he makes top 4, he does well at this tournament, and he gets an invite to the Premier League, because he'll almost certainly turn that down. That's a debate for another day. But what he's proved is that there is life in the old dog yet.
Well, I could say that about both of you. I said to Chris Mason, Paul Nicholson, I'll say to you, Mark Wilson, Ian Danter, darts only works on the radios when you two work on the darts. So keep up the great work for talkSPORT. I think it'll be a great night at darts as well. But for the time in, should we have a round of applause for Mark Wilson and Ian Danter? Should we do that? Hey? That was more for Mark, if I'm being honest. By the way, before I let you go, I don't know if you're aware, Ben's task is to get 180
Has he got any yet?
What, from this distance?
Yeah, I know. All he's got to do...
Do you ever go dance?
Do you want Dance to throw for you?
Yes, I do.
So all you've got to do, listen, is you've got to land 1 or 2, or obviously 3. But if you land 1, next time he throws, that one stays.
Okay.
So Ian Danter's first dart is a single 20. Second dart is, I think, a 20.
I'm glad they asked you, Dan.
Still no one's going to do it. Get out, both of you.
All right.
Good work. Keep up the great work.
Guys.
You can hear more from those two superstars from 7 o'clock. That's when we begin our coverage of course, live commentary of both semi-finals of this year's PDC World Darts Championship. Benny, just a quick word about where we are at the moment, because when we started on air, it was just you, me, and our crew. Now the doors have opened.
I've seen Batman. I've seen the White Power Ranger.
Yeah.
I've seen. What else have I seen?
I've seen a lot of...
Oh, the Black Power Rangers right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of pencils walking about. There's superheroes.
Traffic cones.
Traffic cones, yeah. By the way, they've not opened the doors yet to the... Oh, there's lots of people over there. I am slightly frightened for my life.
I bet you're trying to leave the headphones on. Anyone who's coming down here, if Andy leaves his headphones on, he doesn't want to say hello.
Yeah. No, I do want to say hello. I just can't hear because I've got headphones. I'm here to work. I'm here to work. And I'll be working with Darren Bent right after this. More from me and he, live from Ali Pally right after this. We'll see you in a sec. Well, I'm out to drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent. We're live from a very busy Ali Pally now ahead of the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals. Lots of people around, Darren Bent.
Yeah.
You scared?
Mate, I'm in my element. You are...
What are you talking about?
Last question.
What do you mean? What you know?
Hey, before we come back on air...
By the way, we saw a miracle over there before, didn't we?
Yeah. Honestly.
What are you going to ask?
How are you going to get out of it? Because that's all you're concerned about.
I'm looking at the exit. I'm trying to look at my route.
Hey, there is no clear route.
Do you know what I think I'm going to do? I've bought underneath here, I've got a dinosaur costume. I'm going to stick that on and just no one will know.
Honestly.
I'll just go.
That's all you're worried about right now.
This looks like a dream I had about 15 years ago. It's very bizarre, isn't it? Yeah.
What you've got to do is just pitch out, keep walking, you know what I mean? But listen, I'm used to that. Like, because I don't like people. You hate it.
I don't hate it.
This is your idea of hell.
I don't hate it. But
you enjoy it then? You'll stop for everyone then, yeah?
The last time
No, answer that. Like, everybody stop. Are you going to stop?
No. the last time I was here, look, the last time I was here was for the darts about 2 weeks ago, the week before Christmas. And because so many people want to come up and go, oh, you're the best. I then get the flu, I get the cold, and it ruined my Christmas. So I want to get out of here as safely as possible.
Yeah, listen, you prevent the people.
I'll tell you what I do. I'll put on my Darren Bent mask, no one will trouble me. Right, time now for this, everyone. Yeah, time for the best of talkSPORT Friends, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across talkSPORT and our sister stations. Shall we kick things off with some of the live football? Yes, we shall. Stuart Pearce, Adrian Durham, they were at the Emirates for Arsenal's 4-1 talking of Aston Villa. Here's an interesting half-time take.
They know each other very well. It should be an effective midfield, but it looks at times like it's non-existent. It's clearly missing Declan Rice, and I noticed Patrick Vieira's watching in the stands as well. They could do with him. They could do with Dua Lipa stiffening up that midfield as well, couldn't they?
I'm not sure what she can stiffen up, to be honest with you, eh?
Well, I never expected that from Stuart Pearce. That's unbelievable. Do you get stiff in the cold? That's the question Jack's written us.
Occasionally, yeah.
Do you get stiff?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, I played golf this morning. You know, I had root canal.
Yeah.
So in the cold, that all of a sudden that comes back. Oh, that's not good.
I played paddle this morning.
In the warmth?
Nah, mate, no heating. I said to them, where's the heating at? Paddle box Bermondsey, no heating, freezing.
Yeah, you're running about.
Unbelievable club, though.
Oh, yeah, it sounds it. Just
unbelievable,
no
freezing.
Do you like a bit of Dua Lipa? Is it Dua? How do you pronounce it? Dua Lipa.
It's got one or two tracks. I'm like, okay, I'll pop my head to it, but I wouldn't. If I got on the car, she's not really one I would go for to put the music on.
You wouldn't go for it?
I would go Dua Lipa, bang.
Which celebrity would you like to see play up front for Arsenal?
Which celebrity? Denzel Washington. Dropping number 10. Goes in number 10.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Oh, you okay? No.
Stu will be back on comms. No one's ever called him that. Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest at 12:30 tomorrow. Before Adrian Durham, the GOAT, takes you around the grounds for Game Day Live.
On to the breakfast show where Jamie O'Hara was alongside his old gaffer and the three-time talkSPORT darts champion Dean Saunders. Dino started the year by having a moan.
I'm not drinking cheap wine anymore.
Okay.
There we go. I'm fed up with drinking a bottle of Sell It Bang. You know that cheap stuff that you wake up in the morning like someone's drilled your head. So you never know what's happening tomorrow. You might not be here forever. Do you know what annoys me as well?
Yeah.
HDMI sockets. You know the back of your TV?
Yeah.
When you can't get it in?
Yeah, go on.
You can't get it in the hole.
Right. Right.
Honestly, I'm struggling to get it in the hole these days.
This is Jack's question, Jack's brain. Have you ever struggled to get it in the hole?
When I was about 17, no, my headphone jack, I couldn't get it in my... that was the only time.
Yeah. Don't forget, Weekend Breakfast returns from 6 a.m. this Saturday and Sunday with Shabana Hearn and Big Tony Cascarino.
Right, let's finish with a clip from our sister station, talkSPORT Gold. Here's Ray Party Parlour educating Alan Brazil about life and times of Winston Churchill.
The war was unbelievable, wasn't it? The party they must have had when they won the war.
Yeah.
Because we all would have been German now, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So that was an historical moment. Winston Churchill, what he did, and then them to surrender, Germans, was an amazing for British, really.
Scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It could have gone either way, but it was unbelievable how they took chances and it come out on top.
That is unbelievable.
How can you talk about the war like half-time at a football match?
Could have gone either way.
But we came out on top. Give us your Mount Rushmore of historical figures.
Oh, right, I'm going to go Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Historical figures. Bill Clinton. And another one. Historical figures. Who's the geezer on Torre Trafalgar Square? Nelson.
Nelson.
Yeah. Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more.
That's 3.
Yeah, I said 4. Mount Rushmore.
Historical figures.
Lord Nelson, Bill Clinton, and
Malcolm X, Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
My fourth one would probably be
This is amazing.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you say, Joe?
Good answer.
All right, Bruce Lee. Let me say historical figures. Can I put Bruce on there?
He was an actor, by the way, Bruce Lee. He was an actor. Remember to check out 21 Minutes to Go. Brilliant podcast. It's me and Jason Cundy. New episodes of our unfiltered sweary
still
podcast.
Going, is it? Still going, is it?
Mate, biggest podcast TalkSport, guy, let me tell you that.
Hey.
And of course, you can find all our shows on the TalkSport app where you can swipe between. Yeah, don't worry about that. Just download 21 Minutes to Go. Right, time for a bit of no Googling. Pick up the darts. Pick up darts, no Googling.
I'm just keep going.
Benny's got another chance to hit at least one treble. He needs the 180 before the end of the evening. 18. Oh, he's got one. One treble's in. Leave that one in. Leave that one in. Go and get the other two. One. We need two more in the next two breaks. Right. We want to know, staying with the world of darts, Gary Anderson could become joint second in PDC World Darts Championship final appearances if he wins tonight. Phil currently has the most. Who's second? Who's second? Taylor has 19 finals. So give me a clue. Second place has got 6. Who's been in the final 6 times? The answer to that, and maybe a maximum 180 coming up live in the last 30 minutes of Drive. We'll see you after this. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's at Drive at talkSPORT. We had to go see Darren Bennett is alongside me. This room, by the way, if you're joining us late, is the room, the big room at Ali Pally, because in the slightly smaller room tonight, from 7 o'clock, we build up to live commentary of the World Darts semi-finals. We will speak to Gary Anderson a bit earlier on, and Gian Van Veen. We haven't spoken to Luke Littler or Ryan Searle because they are playing first, as you would imagine. Staying with darts, before the break, I asked the question, Phil Taylor has the most appearances in a world final. Who's second on that list? So Taylor's got 19. Michael Van Gerwen's got 6.
Well, one of them last year, he got absolutely obliterated by Luke Littler.
Luke Littler. So if Littler gets the final, that's 3.
Yeah.
He's 18. That's insane, isn't it?
In a minute, you're going to start calling him the best sportsman ever to grace the planet.
I've already
ever.
said that.
Him or Bex?
Bex. Semenyo's proposed move to Man City this January will be discussed between me and you. Still to come.
Pardon? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Semenyo's move.
Yeah,
Looks
okay.
like that's going to happen. Just quickly, Celtic manager Wilfred Nancy has been speaking to the media ahead of the Old Firm derby against Rangers tomorrow. Nancy lost 5 of his first 7 games in charge, including against Motherwell earlier this week. In a press conference today, the Celtic gaffer said he's convinced they're going in the right direction.
I don't like the word process because sometimes people that think that I'm going to hide behind process. But it's true. Judge me, no problem. But have a look, analyze since I'm here, all the game that we played, and analyze if we should have won the game or lose the game. Do it, because this is your job. Do it. But I don't like to make assumptions. I am a clear guy. For the moment, I cannot talk. I shut my mouth because results Wilfried not good enough. I shut my mouth and I take it. But I know where we are going.
I love that.
That's interesting.
Go on, Wilfred.
Go on, Wilfred. Do you agree? Do you think he needs time to get things right? Or is Celtic one of those clubs where you just don't get time?
No, not with some of the results that the teams they've lost to. Like, I get it, Hearts flying at the top, but you're still at home. Roma, it can happen. But there's a few results in there you go, he's got to win. But ever there was a fixture where all of that could be almost eradicated, it's this one coming up.
Yeah, like, but the flip side of that is get it wrong.
Then it could be curtains, but he had the opportunity in his first few games to beat Hearts at the top, to win a cup final, and now he's got Rangers. Imagine if all those had gone in his favour and then he was to beat Rangers. Oh my goodness, I don't know what they do for him, right?
Superstar.
But ever there was a game that came up.
Has to win this.
If he wins it, the Celtic fans will go, they'll still be annoyed with the start that he's made, but you go, okay, we didn't lose to them.
And we're starting to do things right now.
Yes, but get beat, I dread to think what happens.
Yeah, me too. Right, time now for Drive's Premier League preview. I thought we had music behind that.
No stuff.
By the way, have you seen what? Oh, we have got music. Have you seen what Jack's wearing today?
No.
Have you not seen it?
No.
I'm going to show Darren Bent a picture of what Jack, our tech op, is wearing back home. Can you try and describe it to our listening millions around the world? You've not seen this picture, no?
No.
Okay, this is what Jack is wearing today. How would you describe that? What does he look like?
Why is he wearing a dress?
I don't know what's happening.
A dress and Chelsea boots.
Yeah, sleeveless dress.
Wow.
Which is fine, which is absolutely fine. He can do that if he wants. Right, kicking off a huge weekend of Premier League action is talkSPORT's live and exclusive commentary of Aston Villa and their trip to Nottingham Forest. Villa's 11-game win streak came to an end last time out against Arsenal, but manager Unai Emery wasn't too concerned about the result.
It was fantastic, and we were close to score. We had chances, we didn't concede a lot, no corners and not a lot of chances. They were sometimes dominating, but we had our momentum as well to try to keep the ball possession, to attack with our structure and to create chances. The second half with their goal changed everything. And now thinking Nottingham the next Saturday at home, and of course watching how we are and try to be so demanding and so consistent in our way after, of course, this defeat.
Aston Villa, they're going to finish top 4, top 5.
Yeah.
Top 3 is not achievable, do you think?
Top 3 is achievable. We're third now.
I know, but at the end of the season.
Yeah, still, yeah, very much achievable for Villa, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Of course, there's a lot of traffic in between that. But listen, that 11-game run they went on was absolutely incredible. But they obviously come up, it's a little bit short. Like, again, I said it, I thought Arsenal were the better side with the best home record and that Arsenal would win, and I was proved right. But Aston Villa have been brilliant this season. They started off a bit slow. Morgan Rogers started off slow. Ollie Watkins started a bit slow. Didn't score a goal in their first 4 games, I think it was.
Yeah.
But since then, they've been pretty much faultless. And with Unai Emery, they've got a great opportunity of achieving something really successful. Now, I think they'll finish in the top 4 regardless, right? I think they've got a great chance of winning the Europa League as well. But if they can nick like a domestic, like an FA Cup.
That's unbelievable.
Oh my, like, if I'm Unai, I know he's not going to do it, but they're the kind of...
What's bigger for Villa? Europa League or FA Cup?
Either.
No, but what's bigger? What do you think Villa fans will prefer?
Well, it depends. I think if they were to finish in the top 4, FA Cup.
Yeah, I
agree.
agree
Champions League anyway. If they were to finish outside of the top 5,
they want Champions League football.
Of course.
Yeah.
But FA Cup's a special trophy, by the way.
Yeah.
Special trophy.
Quick word about Forest. They've lost their last 3 league games now. They're looking like the only team West Ham might be able to catch, right?
Yeah, look, but you'd say that. I mean, the Everton result I didn't see coming. But James Garner was absolutely sensational in that game. But there's no disrespect losing 2-1 to City, which I thought they were decent in. 1-0 to Fulham, but the last one, Everton, is where I thought, okay, they're in a bit of bother here. But as you said there is a bit of a buffer between themselves and West Ham. What is it? 4 points?
Yeah.
So it's not massive, but there's still enough there. And with Sean Dyche, I just can't see it happening. But at some point, they've got to start picking up again.
Right, on to talkSPORT. Oh, what a game. This is our other live and exclusive commentary this weekend. Sees Manchester United travel to Ellen Road to take on Leeds. That's Sunday lunchtime. Leeds, they're unbeaten in their last 6 league games, whereas United put up a shocking display against Wolves last time out. Oh, my goodness. Ruben Amorim, he's been speaking today ahead of this one, expects a tough challenge at Ellen Road.
When you play for Manchester United, you need to be ready for everything. And we have you guys have the best league in the world. Like every game now, and you see every week is a lot of draws. You never control, you never understand what is going to happen in the end of that week. So it's going to be tough, but it's always tough nowadays in Premier League.
This is a horrible game for Manchester United. Man United Leeds, when I was a kid growing up, was a massive game. Leeds, of course, have come up from the Championship, but they look a tough team to beat, right? And Calvert-Lewin seems to be hitting a bit of form at the right time. He was rested, I think, last time out against Liverpool. I think he's going to cause issues for Manchester United, and Ellen Road is never an easy place to go. I'm worried that Man United won't get anything out of this one. How do you see it going?
Yeah, I mean, Leeds 5 unbeaten, some good points in there. The result against Palace was a really good one, 4-1. Do you know what? It's a difficult one because you're right, Calvert-Lewin's in the form of his life, playing really well, and you just don't know what to expect from Man United. I mean, that Wolves result, if I'm honest, I never saw coming. I didn't see a world where you didn't win. I didn't say it would be impossible, but I just thought you'd win that game just because you've got better players, and it didn't happen. But that's the problem we've got, Man United, so inconsistent, whereas Leeds are finding a level of consistency. 3-3 with Liverpool not long ago, 1-1 Brentford, beating Palace, drawing with Sunderland away, drawing with Liverpool again. They're starting to find that kind of mentality where they just don't get beat. They might not win many, but they're not getting beat. I think it's going to be a fascinating game, fascinating.
It wasn't that long ago, so Jim Ratcliffe sat down with the press and someone asked him how long they're going to give the manager. And when he was pressed, he said at least 3 years, right? Give him 3 years, time to bed in. Couldn't he or United do anything badly enough for Sir Jim Ratcliffe to question that decision or not?
Of course, if you keep losing games and sliding down the table, then of course he's gonna have to look at it. But right now, Man United, they win one game, they're in the top 4. 33. Do you know what I mean? They're on the cusp of the top 4. I know Liverpool currently occupy 4th spot with 33 points. Chelsea, I've got 30 points. You've got 30 points. I think that's the problem you've got, is that even though you've been inconsistent, you're still on like the top 4 coattail. Like you're still.
Yeah, but that's because everyone's bad.
Doesn't matter.
I know you're right. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I know.
So at the end of the season, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the rest of the Man United hierarchy will look at it, and if you're in the Champions League, it won't really matter how you've achieved it, because you've achieved it. But the next season is how do you go again to the next level, and how do you start competing again. But right now, unless it goes drastically wrong, he's there for a little while, and I've got no issue with that.
First half against Newcastle United went 4 at the back. Second half they went 3. They could have conceded. They could have lost the game, actually. I know United won it. Then they went back to 3 at the back against Wolves. Didn't win that game. How do you see United setting up against Leeds at Ellen Road?
I'll go with a 3. I think he'll start with a 3.
Yeah.
And then kind of go from there. But again, at least he's shown a level of adaptability, where he's prepared to change. And he's not the stubbornness, I quite like that. Because surely he must understand in himself, if he is a little bit more flexible, people are going to give him more time. But the moment he keeps doing things and it's not working and refusing to come away from it, that's why he gets criticised. But it's going to be a fascinating game.
How do you see that one going? It's live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Leeds against Man United Sunday at 12:30, Darren Bent.
2-2.
Bit of Desmond Douglas.
Desmond Douglas.
Okay. Right, we're going to go into our last break now. Now, as things currently stand, there is one of the 3 darts in the treble 20.
Yep.
Benty said that when we came on air, he would get a 180. You've got 2 darts left to throw, and you've only got one more go.
I know.
So your last go will be at the end of the show.
Yep.
So you need at least one of these to stay in treble 20. So good luck to you. One currently there, so there's only got 2 darts left. First of the 2 darts goes.
I knocked it out.
Oh, not the first one out.
Not the first.
I don't really know what to say now. We're back to square one, aren't we? Hey? The last part of our show with me and the darts champion of the world, Darren Bent, is coming up live on Drive on talkSPORT right after this. I did not expect that at all.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals, and taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
That's the last part of Drive Time on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent here. We're live from a very, very, very busy Ali Pali ahead of the PDC World Darts Championship semi-finals tonight. Following us at 7, we have that live commentary of both semi-finals. We will know at some stage tonight which 2 will remain in tomorrow night's final, and that final, of course, will be live on talkSPORT as well. In fact, it's time now to look ahead to all the action with our friends at Village Hotels.
Drive, live from Ali Pali for the PDC World Darts Championship semi-final on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Get rooms from as little as £55 in the Big Village sale. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Just to remind you of the quarter-final results from yesterday, Ryan Searle beat Johnny Clayton 5-2. Did you see the afternoon games?
Yesterday?
Yeah. You see that one, Ryan Searle beating Johnny Clayton 5-2?
I didn't know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well done. Gary Anderson beat Justin Hood 5-2. Okay. What do you make of Gary? How good a performance was that?
Yeah, it was unbelievable from Gary Anderson. Obviously got over the line. Justin Hood, though, has been the story.
Yeah.
Who was it he played? Didn't miss a double for 11 darts.
Yeah, and then he went...
Josh Rock? It was Josh Rock.
I don't think it was.
No, it was Josh Rock.
You sure?
Yeah.
And then he went a little bit wobbly, but only for about 3 or 4 darts, yeah. Is that what you were saying on that? Oh, fine, okay. I thought you were going to say more than that. Luke Littler smashed his opponent 5-0.
No, what's his name? Say his name.
Emma Radzikowski.
No, don't say the name.
His name was Krzysztof Radzikowski.
There you go.
Yeah, he's been 5-0, 35 minutes.
I certainly watched this next one, that last one coming up.
And Luke Humphries, your boy.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to him? You texted him?
No, I was going to drop a little message today, but what'd you say? He's probably listening now, Luke. Unfortunately, next year.
What would you say? These are the times when you got to drop him a message.
No, I'll message him in a minute.
Bet you're disgrace, mate. Some mate you are. Yeah, you've got 2. See if you can get another one. That all means, of course, the semi-final lineup is as follows. Luke Littler against Ryan Searle. That's our first semi-final live on talkSPORT tonight. And then Gary Anderson takes on Gian Van Veen. Do you think we're going to see we're not seeing a 9-darter, have we?
No, but it's been I feel like
a few.
A lot of the games that I've looked at, they've been close. But you know what always makes me laugh, and it will continue to make me laugh, is after they've got the first 3, and then they get the next 3 potentially, and then you know they miss the booze. I love that. It makes me laugh.
We had 2 last year.
Yeah.
We've still got time for 2 this year, right?
I think there was a couple in the Premier League this year. I'm sure. I remember Humphries winning one. Did he? Hold on.
Convincing, yeah.
No, Humphries got a 9-darter to win a tournament.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
It's not about Humphries, it's not in it.
Oh, sorry, mate.
All right.
Shout out Luke Humphries.
You know what we could see? We could see a final involving 2 players under the age of 24. That is insane, right?
Yeah.
So Van Veen is 23, and he got Luke, who's 18.
I mean, that's nuts, because Van Veen now 23. He's not young anymore, but he is. It's because Luke is 18.
Yeah. Who's going to win tonight, by the way? Luke Littler against, this is our last chat. Ryan.
I'm sure
Ryan
Searle's right.
Yeah.
I've got his darts at home. 32 grams.
That's heavy, right?
Well, we
throwing a dumbbell, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, so heavy. Might try using them, I need them.
What will the score be? Luke Littler's playing Ryan Searle, first semi-final.
Littler wins it comfortably.
6-2?
1.
6-1, okay. And then Gary Anderson against Gian Van.
That can't work, 6-2, 6-1.
What
type of score did you say?
6. I said 6-1. You said...
Yeah, I'm going 6-1.
6-1. Okay, we don't have to agree.
Yeah.
And then whoever you take in the other one, I'll take the opposite.
I'm going to go Gary Anderson.
Okay.
You're going who?
I genuinely think Gian Van Veen will win that, actually, comfortably.
All right.
6-3. Is that comfortable or not?
Yeah, I don't know about Garrett beating him that comfortably. That seems a bit wide, that margin.
Well, there's only one place to be to find out, and that's to stay with talkSPORT, because we've got live commentary of both semi-finals when we finish in about 7 minutes' time. That was all thanks to our friends at Village Hotels.
Drive, live from Ali Pali for the PDC World Darts Championship semi-final on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Get rooms from as little as £55 in the Big Village sale. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Right, time now for this. Yes, I'm Bennett's EFL Corner. This is where we take a look to a big old weekend of action in the EFL across the talkSPORT network. And we can start with a huge game on talkSPORT 2. Sunday lunchtime sees Birmingham, this is big, against Coventry. Coventry, they are still 8 points clear at the top, but have won just 2 of their last 7 games following that draw against Charlton yesterday. Meanwhile, Birmingham, they lost 3-0 away to Watford yesterday. That's left them 17th in the league. Their gaffer, Chris Davies, spoke to talkSPORT after that game yesterday. He was asked if he's starting to feel the pressure.
It's really important we get a win soon. Like I say, I don't follow anything externally. It's all internal, and the work that I do is, I know we need to win games. That's what we need to do, no doubt about it. We've been very close in some games to winning, but we haven't, which has put us in a situation under pressure now where we need to go and get a win, because marginally missing out on wins isn't enough. You need to get 3 points on the board, and we need to do it soon.
No winning 7 for Birmingham now. They need to find some kind of form quickly, don't they? What's happened to them?
Yeah, it's surprising, to be fair. I mean, I did the game against Southampton, Birmingham, and it was just a little bit of a nothing performance, really. Like, it was nothing really going on. I mean, the Watford result was, wow, a bit staggering, and he's going to be under pressure. I mean, to be fair, he's just out because, I mean, Kyogo up top. Now, I like him, Andy, right? His movement, and at Celtic, he was prolific, Kyogo. Since he's got to Birmingham, he must be top, and I need to check this, but I'm sure he's top of big chance missed.
Oh, you got to be top of that list.
He has had, even against Southampton, clear-cut chances and doesn't take them. And I feel for him because he's doing everything right, getting in the positions. And if you've got a centre-forward there that he brought in, big signing from Celtic, and he can't score, I mean, he's got 22 appearances in the champ, no goals, no assists. I mean,
no, that's no
how
good.
are we supposed to succeed? But I feel for him, he's got to keep going and hopefully he gets a goal.
Ever so quick, let's move on to another big old game. It's live on talkSPORT 2. Sunday sees Middlesbrough host Southampton. Borough, they lost 1-0 away to Derby. That was yesterday, meaning they have no wins in their last 4 and have slipped to, 3rd in the league. Meanwhile, Southampton, they're 14th without a win in their last 5. Borough, Bentley, they've been in the top 2 for, a lot of the season, but they've slipped now How much of a worry is their recent form?
Yeah, I mean, but again, all teams in the Champ go through this, more or less. Losing 1-0 to Derby, okay, it can happen, but they've got to get back to it. The only thing about them where they go, okay, we're going for a bit of a wobble. They've had a wobble and they still currently sit third, 1 point behind Ipswich, who currently sit second. So they're still in the thick of it. But at some point, they're going to have to turn this form around because it's not working for them in a minute. They reacted really well when Rob Edwards left. But now it's about what can they do? Can they start to get results? And they're going to need one sooner rather than later.
Producer Joe just said in my ear, we haven't got time for Ipswich. They ain't got time for it. Talk about Ipswich, done. You've got one dart left, where is it?
Yeah.
So since we came on here, you've been trying to get a 180. Over the last 2 hours, you've thrown 2 trebles. They're in there. You've got 1 dart to get 180. Good luck, Darren Ben.
Cheers.
Does he get it? I'll give you live commentary now. No, he gets a 1. Well done.
I was too worried, I can't even get it in there.
Awful. Before we move, just a quick round of applause to all the talkSPORT team behind the glass, the other side of us, because without them, we are nothing. Good work, everyone. Congratulations, talkSPORT gang. Next up, do not go anywhere as we have live commentary of both semi-finals in the World Darts Championship tonight at the Alexandra Palace. Our world-class commentary team will be taking over in just a few minutes' time ahead of the first semi-final. It sees Luke Littler taking to the stage at 7:30 against Ryan Searle. That's it from me and Bentley. We'll be back on Monday for the first drive time show of the week from 4 p.m. Stay with talkSPORT. Live darts is coming your way right after these words. Have a great weekend. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.